hear what we're so they hear what we talk about.
We're still waiting for Otaru, but you haven't heard this conversation, so you're going to listen while you're looking at the starting soon screen.
I'm
No,
gonna put our
I guess
webcams
it's-
on it then and our mics because, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
just I don't understand it as well. It's just like there's spoilers. You could put your face in it.
Yeah.
And this thing is, you know, a car that they probably picked up for cheaper than the spoiler. And
So it wouldn't blooming work anyway.
Oh, and that massive exhaust on the back. We call them exhaust cars over here.
Because they're so
Yep.
fast.
Because they sound like they're actually dying.
You want to know that there was somebody that had that. No, there was somebody that had. There was somebody that had a spoiler in their car, on their car. But when I looked at it, I noticed they put it on backwards. So it did the so it was doing the opposite job. It wasn't putting it down it wasn't making it grip more. It was trying to fly. Yeah, like an idiot.
what is it, Brom? Oh, not Brom. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I get those two confused because they look the same. Just one has bangs.
Yeah,
One's tiny.
that's true. Yeah.
And one
I
can
just don't. I
Fun
guess I'm
fact,
just.
I was knocked over by Brom. The actual Brom. It was at a fair locally, and it ran me over when I was like 2.
Ooh.
And you're scared of Mr. Blobby and not Brom.
Well, it's because no, but I had but Blobby was
No, it's the
fucking terrible.
he's faced it's the true danger that he is faced in like face down in real life, and then the one that's an existential crisis that he
Yeah,
can't
like
truly
it's like
face.
you know, like there's nothing more scary than what you can make up in your own head. What you see is not as bad.
That's
Once
why
you've had a
ghosts are
dream
so
about-
fucking and that's why ghosts are so scary, is because you can't fight them.
Yeah, all right. You got a new PC. Fuck off.
I'm happy. Okay, fuck you. You'll stare at this the entire time now, Midge. Fuck
I've
you.
got a guy on my chat who's basically saying he hates people who just upgrade the car's aesthetics and mufflers. It makes him wish for his Charger. It makes me wish for your Charger as well. You're lucky. You're in America. You can buy one.
I'm very happy with mine.
Only if you have some money.
2008. It is the biggest granddad car.
I can't.
It has airplane like tables in the back seats and everything, and it's the most roomiest car. There's there's extra seats extra under seat storage, and like you can fit so much in it. It's the most old man car in the world, and yes, it's the most middle class thing in the world. But I freaking love it. Just,
I'll admit, if I
can't-
had money,
I can't physically fit in a note.
I would actually kind of enjoy those. They're like the old man car here. When you say that, is those big.
it's a Prius.
No. Old man car
it's
here
Cadillac.
means.
The old Caddy.
Yeah, it's Cadillac. It's square body, 5-ton cars that
Have the fuel
are
efficiency
older than me.
of I don't know, a
Fuel
planet.
But here's the thing, though. Rival. They ride like a dream. I've been in them. Nothing stops them because they weigh so goddamn much. Their shocks are so overbuilt. You don't feel anything in them. You can run
that's
over
the
a body.
problem. When you run over a small child, a dog.
Well, I think that's the
another
problem.
human
I think that's the
being.
problem with old people is they just don't know. Because it's like an old lady it's like an old lady that's driving it like this. She can't see past the hood. So if she hits something, she has only context clues. But she's missing it because of the shocks on these damn things.
Context clues being the screaming. Also, she's deaf
She
because
can't
she's
hear.
old.
Yeah, she can't hear. She can't see that well because of the glasses and her position. And so she can't feel it. The only thing she's got left is her feeling and like her equilibrium, but she can't but it's so smooth, she doesn't know when she hits somebody. So you're fucked.
No, I'm one of those people that would really, really enjoy a Tesla as my.
Oh, I would too.
Honestly.
Honestly.
I want but I don't even mean one of those really sporty looking ones.
No, just the basic Model 3s.
Well,
Like,
no, they do this new one that's like a
an S.
hatchback.
Yeah,
that's
Model
more
3.
expensive.
Yeah.
No. Model 3 is the car. The hatchback's the Model S and costs twice as much or 3 times as much.
No,
Probably,
it's the one that
but, like,
yeah. The
What?
Model
The
3
S
is the
is a-
cheapest one.
I just want a sensible, safe electric car.
No,
Like-
I get that. I do too. I would kill for one. Because not really, but maybe.
Where's your nearest charging point, though, Roach? Midge is probably fine.
My garage.
Yeah, but if you
My
rent
I have
more
a
than
I have a
100 miles
210
away-
outlet. I have a 210 outlet inside the garage that I can modify
We have one in the
by
garage.
just splicing it.
Garage.
So it's easy enough for me just to I could splice one of those home charging things in there, and I could not quick charge, but it's faster than trickle charging. I could splice that in for no money. Like I could do it myself. Like I probably wouldn't, because although I do know how to do some wiring, I'd rather it be done professionally. But it's not that much.
And
Other than that,
yeah,
it's
other than that,
it's
for
a
me,
20-minute
10.
drive to another charging point, which isn't that
Yeah,
bad.
for me, I think it's a 10-minute drive to the M2 services.
I was gonna say it's not gonna be far for you because you're in.
Oh, okay,
City
you're right.
Central.
The Model 3 is kind of a hatchback.
Thank you.
What on earth?
I know my cars, man.
Well, I didn't remember it being so flowy in the back. I thought it was just kind of like a a normal.
Yeah,
car.
it is the Model 3. I think I'm thinking of.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about the SUV, which is the X. Which,
No.
although I would like that, it's just way too expensive compared to it.
Oh, the X
Is
is.
that the really ugly one?
No,
we,
the X is actually pretty good, but the old style X was terrible.
Okay.
So did we like change server? Because I just joined the server, but it looked like it just made a brand new one for me, which is why it was taking forever to download everything.
No, you connected, so it's
It
there.
looked
I
like
can
it
clear
would just. It was like, oh, setting up server and
Ooh, weird.
No, it's
Yeah,
weird.
very
Can you
weird.
still select your?
right. I'm
your character?
rejoining it again. Yeah, I'm
Okay,
rejoining it again.
we'll
but
check and see
It's
if it-
like
if it works.
setup. It had all like the setup options and things like that. No one else was connected but me.
That was weird. That is
Yeah.
weird. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, no, if I had like unlimited money for an electric car, I'd probably get an X. Mostly just because I live so far away from everything, I'd want more storage space than the 3 has. I want it a bit bigger, and I
Yeah,
think
it's
it can
done
get
it.
more mileage.
It's done it again. It's giving me the campaign setup thing.
Are you sure you're joining? Like, maybe restart it completely, like Fantasy Grounds completely, and see if it goes. If it doesn't, I can try and I can release your character ownership and see if that works. Like, I can take your ownership off of Usteni and see if that shows up. Because it says you were connected. So
It's asking me to set up a campaign, and I'm like, what's going on?
it should be.
I'm connected on Hamachi as well, aren't I?
Yeah, you're connected on Hamachi.
Ugh.
Hey.
Also, the gull wing doors of the Model X, I kind of like, just because they're cool. like that's stupid. I know it
That's
is.
fair, yeah.
But come on. Reminds me of the DeLorean.
Nothing's that bad.
Yeah.
Well, no,
Go back
I'll
to
talk about
the
the
future.
aesthetics, not the actual car, because the DeLorean
fair
Because I've heard stories of, I think, what was it? My dad used to do automotive detailing. And I think he told a story about an older guy who had a DeLorean catch fire in the shop, and one of the guys in the shop just let it burn. Because that thing was a piece of shit. It looks cool, and the only reason it is a collector's item is because of that movie. Is because
yeah.
of Back to the Future.
Oh, good.
If not, that thing would be worth nothing at all.
I think the only reason they used that car was because in that
It was
film,
cheap.
it's because that's all they could afford.
Well, it was and the gull wing doors.
Yeah.
That was the two reasons. It was cheap, and the gull wing doors made it look futuristic. That was it. Those were the only two reasons. I think that was a joke in the original thing because he goes, "A DeLorean?"
Yeah, it's like, wait a minute, you're trying to tell me you made a time machine out of a DeLorean?
DeLorean?
A DeLorean. Yeah. No wonder it was
Why
so
not?
hard to get into 88. That's the other joke. That's the other joke is it would be impossible because you could never get those things up to 88 miles an hour.
Not unless you had a film crew.
It would just rattle
dodged
itself to
and-
death.
Yeah.
Because those things were so poorly put together.
What I like is he's got those the Libyans attacking him and like chasing with the AK, and they're kind of shooting and shooting. It's like driving around this car park. It's like, let's see how these guys like 90. It's like that thing never make it up to 90 in a car park, let alone a blooming highway or anything else.
You know, you need a lead up in a hill going down.
And another car pulling you.
or
Another car
just a
in front
sheer
of that,
drop.
creating a wind break for you.
And a nitrous
Yeah,
rail.
sure. Or just a sheer drop, and even then you might not make it by the end of the drop.
One of those catapults they have on aircraft carriers.
That's firing a jet that's towing the delivery.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we talk about when we're not
Hi,
playing.
everyone.
Welcome to the conversations before the live stream of D&D. You may actually want to like stay for the conversation
this is
before the live
almost-
stream because they are fun.
Oh God, it's been so long since I thought about it. Those things are so shit. I think there's
Carson on Rivals chat. That's fantastic. I didn't know that as a factoid, but that's brilliant. Because I love that TV show. But apparently in Supernatural, the reason they used an Impala for the main car is because you can fit a body in the boot or trunk.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah, if I couldn't
Carry
have a
on.
charger, I want an Impala. I know the whole thing's gonna fall apart eventually, but I don't care. And I know it
some
would not
people
fit
like.
on
That's
British
the thing.
roads.
Some people like project cars.
Oh.
That's the thing.
That's true,
That's
yeah.
why those
Oh.
exist.
I had a no.
Oh,
Oh,
so
oh,
it showed me the
oh.
campaign setup option again, but now I'm seeing my character thing.
There you go. Can you click it and sign into your character?
Why is my
Yeah.
reaction scared mine?
Ostinia!
I'm finally in, but like everything's black boxed for like the avatars in the boxes.
Okay, I'm going live.
Weird.
With your face.
If you go to the images and maps, do you still have the ones that are public, like available, like the campaign maps and stuff that I made? Are those all
Yes.
available?
Are we using any particular one?
No, I was just wondering if you had access to the stuff I gave you, like it was given you and everything still. Because
That would be
if
when I
not, then
loaded
that
it
would be.
initially as well. It might just be because I'm on a fresh
Yeah,
install.
you like that more.
I do like the
Yeah, it
apple,
could
but
be a
it's okay,
thing
you're gonna eat all the
because
coats and
Mikey is
Oh,
brand
so you
new
can have the
technically
occasional apple
because
to take
he got
away
a new
the taste
computer.
of
So
those.
Okay.
Blech.
Everything's new.
everything's
As
new.
long as I get
Huh?
cherry.
Okay, we all good? We all got that out of our systems.
Nope.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
no, we
say
can talk about
I
cars for a long
sometimes
time.
look forward more to the conversations before and after the game than I do the game because of you
Aw.
guys.
It's almost like
Yeah.
we're friends.
Wow.
Yeah.
Almost. It's almost like we like each other or some shit.
And then we realised who we're talking to, and it's like, yeah, no, we're not.
No, totally not.
Come on, rival. I wouldn't have anyone else for a zombie apocalypse than you.
Why?
I'd have Crimson.
Well, one,
Yeah.
one,
No,
you,
that's not a
one, you know how to shoot, and two, I could probably outrun you.
Oh, well,
Which-
actually, no, Rival does know how to shoot.
Yeah.
And he's closer to me than anyone.
But you see, mate, you also have all this medieval weaponry in your house, which we know never runs out of ammo.
It's a shame because I used to be the closest to you by like
Yes.
literally in the in the same area.
All right, so
We're gonna die.
We are all
Maybe.
gonna die.
I'm assuming you guys had a separate chat this week to talk about
No, not
things.
at all.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Those players are up to something. So
Oh,
I only
before we
noticed.
go
I only
any
noticed
further,
about a week later. I only noticed like 5 days later. I forgot the E in something. In
Mikey?
in that meme image I made.
Which was
Before we go any
funnier,
further-
I think.
Mikey,
Yes.
I got you covered on your dex problem.
Oh, cool. That's nice to hear.
Okay, don't know what that means. So I'll
do
just,
you,
I'll
do
just
you,
do.
hang on, do you have what I think you have? That spell we might have mentioned in that chat that we were hoping you might pick.
No, we didn't have totally at all.
Yeah!
Are we Jed Sparrow hawking?
Hang on.
Someone got the reference.
In the chat, Mitch.
Yeah, okay.
Then player
So,
vote. That's all.
as a recap to everybody listening and watching, last week the party continued on their journey across the gray wastes and the many biomes of the desert, encountering very little actual combat resistance, and instead, mostly just environmental stuff that you had to overcome. Much to my chagrin, since I did make all the battle maps and the encounters, and none of you rolled those for the
Save it for
encounter
later.
tables.
We're all gonna survive this.
I'll probably
We've
use
still-
them at some point.
We've still got to get out of this desert.
It's true. But what occurred after actually one fight against a whole bunch of giant spiders, that was probably one of the easier ones that you guys had to deal with.
The spiders got slapped about. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. You guys are level 8 party with 5 people in it, so
Also,
you're pretty
we also
tough.
did have help. That's also true.
Yeah, you also got 7 level half to 2, like, or challenge level half to 2 kind of NPCs that help you. But you made it through and finally arrived at your destination, an old abandoned citadel in the middle of the desert that used to belong to a militant order of Bahamut worshippers that had been destroyed during the Second Pelorian Crusade through the Grey Wastes. The citadel seemingly left untouched for many, many decades and centuries. Well, actually, it would be decades. You did get a little bit of a closer look on the actual citadel as you had your faithful worshippers, ranger, get closer with a very high, been destroyed stealth check. In doing so, you found out that the place wasn't necessarily abandoned, because you saw a troop of some type of dragon rider fly in on a type of dragon you had fought before and had found evidence that they had been tamed as a mount. Though you did not go any closer, so you only got some information as to the citadel itself. And we left off with you lot trying to form a plan with your hired mercenaries as to what you were going to do and how you're going to go about doing it. As you know, at least somewhat, that Liabin, the druid, knows that you're coming and may or may not be more powerful than the last time you dealt with her. I think that covered it all, didn't it? I think everybody think that did it? Okay. So we start back in with you lot discussing your plans next to your wagon train that's a little bit down the ways in the ravine, out of sight from the keep itself. And scene. Go ahead. Action.
So Rivallon's just come back from having a scout.
Well, it's been a little bit because
We've been
you were actively discussing when we left off, so.
We were just going through ideas, and we became a bit despondent.
No, I'm not.
You never are.
But it is on the eve of the It's like mid-ish day right now, and technically it's actually the equivalent of Christmas Eve right now. It's tomorrow is the
That's somewhat
Festival of
depressing.
Spirits.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, would it be normal for people to be a bit more jovial tonight?
Depending on like the culture specifically, like a lot of like dwarves don't necessarily celebrate it as much, and it's kind of spotty in some areas. But I mean, it's
What about druids and
known.
dragon riders?
We don't know
Don't
what
know where they
the
come
Orland is because we barely found any details out about them.
Yeah, Orland is apparently uninhabited, so
Well, unexplored.
Apart from all the
We know
people
it's
that are
inhabited.
there.
We do know it's unexplored.
Yeah. All you know is that it exists. Kind of. It's one of those. It's like California in early
Here
14th century
be
maps.
dragons, literally.
Like yeah.
It's an island.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh shit.
It's the entire continent that I haven't explored yet, I think is what they said.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or like
this is-
Australia in the early 1300s, I think was. Or even
So is what you're
1400s.
saying is if we attack them with blankets,
Oh god. Roach's face is just, bitch, what?
I don't think it's
Wait,
like
everybody's-
really the
ev-
blankets
everybody-
that do the damage.
quick, everybody sneeze on this
in
cloak.
The blankets.
I like how Roach is just like, motherfucker, don't do that again. Just giving him that, don't do it again, bitch. You've done it once before.
So, what are you all wanting to do?
So
Well, I can cast Pass Without a Trace
that'll help.
on up to 6 members of our group.
Which is us, and we've said that the mercenaries are going to stay back on guard.
Yeah.
And
And
be the
A veil of
proposed
shadows
cavalry.
and silence radiates from you, masking you and your companions from detection for the duration. Each creature you choose within 30 feet of you, including you, has a +10 bonus to dexterity, stealth checks, and can't be tracked by except by magical means. A creature that receives this bonus leaves behind no tracks or other traces of its passage.
So, myself and Sesh might actually succeed in stealth
Probably
save.
It doesn't.
I'm
It
probably
just
still
gives
gonna
you a
cast.
+10.
Yeah.
So
I'm
you're.
still
not
gonna
advantage
cast,
or
so,
anything.
yeah.
It's not advantage. You
Yeah,
still only get one
so-
roll, but
yeah.
you
I will probably
and
still
remember
cast
negative.
enhance
Remember,
immune.
natural ones are not automatic fails for skill checks. They are just the roll.
Yeah,
so-
so it would
the
give
worst
you a
possible
+9 instead.
Yeah.
Mikey, you're really quiet. Let me adjust you.
You are really quiet, Mike.
Yeah.
I
You're
did
quite
adjust
quiet
myself.
this time.
Turn
We
your
were- we were
microphone
try-
up.
We were trying to adjust
Oh.
his mic beforehand. It was really loud at one point, and
All right,
brought it
how's that?
down.
Is that any better?
That's
Alright,
better.
You stay where you are. I'll do mine.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done it on mine.
Stay where
anyway.
you are. Anyway.
Yeah.
Stay where you are.
Laddie, stay where you are, bye. Anyway.
Stay where you are.
I can probably still cast Enhanceability on myself to make my
Yeah.
my roll no longer at disadvantage, which would help.
And concentration, it's up for 1 hour. So.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's not bad.
It doesn't take you that long to get there from where you're at right now. It's
Oh, no way,
like, you
no,
could,
no, no.
Yeah,
This-
you,
We should probably
you'll
have a
get
plan,
through.
but that's
This is where
a good
rangers
part of the
come in
plan.
like, woo, this is their wheelhouse.
This is the ranger thing. Yeah.
He is now Rivallon is now a Spec Ops member. He is now part of SOCOM.
Yeah, he is our
Everyone was
special.
always a Spec Ops member. You just never really appreciated his skill set.
Oh no! With the amount of things that you've last hit, we understand
Yeah,
that
the amount of
you
things
have a
you've killed.
particular
We
set
get
of
it.
skills.
You're also from Belfast now for some reason.
Bad.
Anyway,
So,
Speculated set of
Mog's
scum.
going to ask, may I ask what the last encounter with one of these dragons, can we sort of pull knowledge?
Yes, we got fucked up. There you go. We got covered.
But Rivallon, now that we've since found out what it was,
Mhm.
is there anything from your background that you can add to this?
History
Considering
check.
They're a favorite enemy
Well,
of yours.
I would say this.
Nature check.
I would say this, Rivallon. The
have
Orland
favorite
Shadow
dragons.
Dragon is yeah, you have favorite enemy dragons, but that doesn't necessarily give you carte blanche information on all dragon types in existence if
No, it
you've
doesn't.
never had experience. It doesn't. I'll let you roll for it, but I'm going to tell you it's a high DC because you have. It's basically like asking somebody from China, tell me about like in the 13th century, tell me about the American possum. Like they might know
Also,
it exists.
does
but
that favorite enemy thing give you advantage on this roll, or is it just
Yeah.
you can know it?
it gives you
No, it's
advantage.
advantage.
I think it
Right,
gives
so
you
what am I doing? What is it? Nature,
Uh,
history, cuddly
it
toys.
would be
Totally,
it
totally.
would be because you're trying to academically know this. It would be history, and it would be advantage because you're a favorite enemy.
Are you sure you don't want to do it on nature?
I'll cast guidance
on
on him.
Nature.
I'll cast guidance on him as well.
Ah, there we go.
What's that? +4?
Add a
Oh,
D4.
+D.
Add a D4.
You'll add a
D4.
D4 afterwards. Yeah.
which will help.
Oh,
17.
And then add your D4. 20.
dirty 20.
It's a dirty 20.
Bingo.
Dirty.
It's a dirty.
Filthy.
Everyone take
It's
a
a
turn.
dirty 20.
Most of what you know of this, you already know. You know where it comes from, theoretically. You know where its migration patterns supposedly take it during the year, and nothing new really comes up. You know, like it's very hard to see at night. It's usually an ambush predator. It's got a very particular type of breath weapon that it uses, and they can get to very prodigious sizes, though you've never seen one at that point. All the ones you see are very similar to the one that you fought, which is
You're
maybe
basically
young
telling me
adults.
I got that great roll and everything, and used like guidance from
You
the
only-
pal over there.
the only
and you're giving
information
me
you have-
absolutely frig all. You're an evil DM, and you don't
you
like
have what
us.
you have. You have what you have. You got already a very good roll to get the information when you back.
I don't
when
care.
you got the information back there.
You basically just
kind
said,
of-
I don't know what else you can know, so I'm not going to give you anything.
Yet it's you don't know a lot about them.
Okay,
Nobody does. That's the thing. You have a basic.
So what we know is
Knowledge of
expect the
them.
unexpected.
You know that they're
They're
supposed
dragons,
to be.
so they're sentient, so we might be able to talk them round, although I'm
But that
might
okay.
wanna
That
take
is
my
one
armor
thing.
off first.
They're dragonlords. They're not technically full blood like dragons.
Oh, yeah, they're like a drake
Bahamut.
or a wyvern, right?
Yeah, they're basically a subtype. So they're dragonlords.
Dragonkin.
So
They're dragonkin.
they're
Yeah.
kin, yeah. So they're not sent. They're intelligent. They're quite intelligent, but they're not sentient or sapient. They're more
Animalistic.
They're animal. They're
Yeah.
animals.
Right,
they're
so I
just
can
smart
try and tame
animals.
them then. Excellent.
Yeah. You
More or less.
could, yeah. It's like the difference between like saying like a human and a chimpanzee. Like it's a very smart animal, but
You're saying
it's not.
I give them a stick, and they think that I'm giving them a tool to use. Okay.
Well, they might. Who knows? But
They
That's
whack
what
you
you
with
get.
the stick. Like,
also,
oh,
so
cool.
that's the information. That's a new bit of information. The dragonkin, not full blood dragons. They're a subtype stuff. So,
Yeah, we're
there you
trying
go.
to work that out.
Well, yeah, no. If they were full-blood dragons, they'd be able to turn into humans, probably.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And
They ho-
shit,
they
they
got
would
it.
not.
Definitely
and
wouldn't be
they would
enslaved.
not have a rider. Yeah,
No.
Yeah.
there's more likely they'd be riding someone.
Hey, Mitch,
Hey
Mom.
guys, bingo.
Bingo.
Bingo!
David,
No, that was
Hi.
last week's.
Oh no, that was last
Hey.
week. Hey, Midge Mom.
It's not bingo
Hiya!
unless you get a line.
Bye.
It's not bingo unless you get a line, guys. You just
I'm just
got it.
reminding.
It's more of a drinking game,
Yeah.
Roach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Hang on. Speaking of which, hydration.
Hydration check. Very good.
Hang on, wait a minute.
Coffee
Yeah,
check.
there you go.
Oh, I actually, sorry, I got that wrong.
So, what's the plan, ladies and gents?
I'll just drink it out of my Rival Zone Gaming mug.
I was thinking you could remember back to your
Oh.
education on Roke Island, your time spent mastering the books with the Master of Names.
That's a reference I did not get.
You didn't get that reference. You didn't get that reference.
I didn't know.
Jed Sparrowhawk?
Oh Christ, yeah, we're sorry, we mentioned it earlier.
Yeah.
I'm all over the place. Sorry.
The Isle of Roke. Roke Isle, the Master of Names, which is how we learn how to beat these dragons. God damn it.
Well, I think we should definitely get in there and rival your spell, Rivallon. Sorry, your spell will definitely aid in that.
I feel like
I
there might
personally
be
think we should go at
confusion and I
dawn.
missed the context of that as well.
I personally think we
So
should go
you-
at night.
I'm kind of in agreement with that because I had another idea.
Well, then we can't see them. It's a thing as well.
But they were
Yes,
yeah,
we
see
can.
us as easy, but
I can.
well, yeah, that's true. But if we can
You've
get
got
them while
special
they're
special
asleep,
ops.
we can make sure they. So like, I had the idea that maybe I could cast silence on them while they're asleep, so they can't hear us while we move around?
No, we won't be able to hear us anyway, unless they've got
So-
magical means.
Yeah,
Let me get this straight. You're suggesting that a creature that has very, very dark skin
Mhm.
and kind of seems adapted for hunting at night
Yes.
would sleep at night.
yeah.
No,
Okay, my
their
bad.
riders would sleep at night.
The riders would, but the
Yeah.
plan was casting silence on the dragons when the dragons are sleeping, correct?
If we can get into the castle, citadel, whatever you want to call it,
It's more of a citadel.
then
than
we can sit and
outpost,
wait and cast it whenever they are asleep.
They're probably asleep right now if they're nocturnal.
No, because we just saw them move.
Yeah, they probably went into the castle to get some sleep.
You have no evidence to prove that at all.
None of us have any evidence to prove that.
Technically,
Exactly.
none of you have evidence at this point. It's all theory. It's all,
This is all
it's
theory. It's all a game
it's
theory.
all- it's all- But your mercenary the leader of your mercenary ilk, Elred, goes. So you want us to just guard the wagons while you go in, and we'll just hold here until we get word from you?
Yes.
Is that the plan?
Yeah, we'll do a sending to call you.
Okay, we'll back the wagons against the rock face, and we'll try and mitigate our.
It probably wouldn't be a bad idea
presence.
to give you guys the sending stone if you need to contact us.
That's not a bad idea, actually, yeah.
Which would have full charges. It's
Yeah,
been a week
'cause we haven't
since
used
you
it.
last used it. Yeah. Yeah, because you last used it during the winter
night where I
solstice.
didn't sleep. Oh, is that a week ago?
It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days ago.
Yeah, we've got full charges, so yeah.
Yeah, you got full charges. Yeah, we could take
So
that.
I guess if no one's in argument, we will give them the sending stone.
We'll
Cool.
keep this just in case, and
Just
contact
remember
you
to
in case-
turn your data roaming off. The charges out here are insane.
Don't know what that means, but we'll give it a shot if anything goes awry. But we'll try and stay low during the.
If you could
During
just
that.
if you could just excuse me for 15 minutes, I just want to make sure my wishes are kept if the worst happens. And Mog goes off to write a couple of notes.
Okay. Go off on your own, write up. I'm assuming is some sort of will or.
That
last
will
wish.
and last testament.
Yeah.
She's
Ah,
also
huh.
going to find something to sort of cover her head in case the pulse drought trace is fine for an hour, but if we have to wait longer than an hour, then she wants to make sure that she's got a bit of camouflage because she is the only green thing for many miles.
Yeah, I guess you could find like some like linen or something like that.
Yeah.
That's
Dirt.
like cream, like a cream colored or something like that. And probably find that do like a rudimentary like head wrap or something.
Yeah.
To get that.
Basically,
Yeah,
it's
that-
bright
that's
red
not
hair
hard.
and bright green skin. She's going to cover some of that up.
Okay. That's easy enough to find and work out. So yeah, you get that going. So what are you lot doing?
Well, I guess while we wait for Mog, I'm going to cast Enhance Ability on myself. And get ready
I'm
for...
going to wait until we're ready to go before I cast Pass Without a Trace on my team.
Yeah,
Okay.
mine is Constitution. Mine is
What's the duration of enhanced ability?
an hour concentration.
Okay.
Wait, linear
That's why I'm
distance.
waiting.
How many minutes do we reckon we are
You're a
away from them?
mile. I think it's a little over a mile because
Okay, so
just then
20
you
minutes.
couldn't see like
Yeah.
couldn't use his eagle vision directly on.
And then we get
um,
through a break in the wall, we get into the citadel, and then there's buildings that we can use for cover.
Yeah.
So say 40 minutes, and we should be inside somewhere. Be able
Yeah.
to move through the buildings.
directly, yeah, give or take. Yeah, you can get there in an hour, easy enough. But I'm not gonna say like even with you like taking time for it, it didn't take long for Rivallon to do his like recce. So I'll definitely give you that. Mog finishes her preparations, we'll gather up, unless you had anything else you wanted to do.
Grab water, grab snacks.
Yeah, let's all make sure we eat and we're like hydrated. Fill up your canteens.
Water skins all fold up, and
I'm gonna leave my halberd here
okay.
on the cart.
Denote if you're not taking anything. Denote whether or not you have it on your person or not.
Well, it's
Just make
because
sure
we're
or keep a
leaving the
mental
horses
note.
here. I'm gonna
'Cause you're
make sure
leaving
it's
the
on the
horses.
horse. Yeah. We'll just move it to the horse.
So keep a mental note of what you have on you and what you don't have on you.
Yeah. Just because obviously it's not the most sneaky weapon of choice.
I get it.
And if I really get into a position where I need to use a blade, I can conjure one. So.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm gonna hex my scimitar.
I'm going to take my grapple hook and rope.
Okay. So
Smart.
definitely special forces have that around like your midsection kind of thing. Get some black. eye makeup
Wait! You've
underneath
got a
both
grapple
eyes.
hook now. You're in a all black dragon-esque outfit. Are you Batman? Are you suddenly Batman?
Dragon Man.
Bad elf.
His family was killed when he was young. You know? Yeah.
Dragon
I'm
elf.
ready.
Down.
Nah, he needs to be
ready
Owlbear.
for war.
Owlbear man.
Let's be honest. If anyone has a grudge against Rivallon, against Liburn, it's Rivallon.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, not so much Liburn. I'm going to leave that one to Ustinia because she wants a piece of him. It's more.
It's a ghoul.
It's a ghoul for me. It's Ziggy. Ziggy needs to die.
Ziggy. We're gonna call her Ziggy from now on.
I've been calling her Ziggy forever.
Ziggy played guitar.
So you all get ready.
It's a bad man waiting in the citadel.
But you all get ready, and
Yeah.
you eat. So you take I'll say you like take an hour to prep, like get all your stuff together, like manage your kit, have just something to eat, drink, prep everything, and head out. Rivallon, you cast your pass without a trace as soon as you start going.
Mhm.
Are you doing that? Just okay. So make sure you do know you cast that spell, so you use that spell slot. Just because
Yes.
I know you don't cast that often. So,
No, it's the second.
so there you go. You begin journeying towards the citadel. As you kind of round the corner and head down, it begins to fill out in your vision as the heat itself somewhat obscures it. It is so hot, even in the shadowed ravine, that it does that like wavy bit where details are very hard to make out from a distance. But you continue closer and closer. Ustenia, make a perception check because you have the eagle eye vision. So now you have basically a clear line of sight, and you can see a super
Right,
amount of
I've
detail.
got
because
Eldritch
you're
Sight
close.
on.
Eldritch sight. Okay. What is that?
It's
What does
line
that
of
do?
sight. It's detect magic.
I rolled a 5.
Okay. Oh. Yeah.
Well,
My eagle eyes have failed me. Well, I can see
You got
all the
dust.
basic stuff that eagle eyes gives me, right?
Yeah, it's just basically that was just to see if you could see good detail because the heat's still obscuring most of the good amount of the detail. It's still UV and kind of soupy air between you, so it's hard to make out. But you see the citadel on its hill, the walls, basically most of the things that Rivallon saw, you're now seeing just from a bit further away.
Can I run a
the-
perception since I'm leading the team?
Yeah, if you want to. Yeah. You wouldn't be able to make out much from this distance because still you're most of a mile out.
Are you sure?
Got 19.
Yeah, no, it's still pretty sure. You see you see most of the same stuff. at this, though you're making more concerted effort this time, you can see a couple more breaks in the wall, so you have a bit more options to get in to the citadel itself. But there's no like new detail that pops up to you that you can spot.
There's nothing nothing out of place or anything like that.
Yeah, nothing that was like, oh, that's obviously different than when I looked at it last time. None of that. It's
Okay.
It's still fairly similar. It's just maybe a little later in the day.
Oh
That's
no!
a lot of rice.
Out. No.
Oh no!
And that's for it for this week, guys. We'll see you next time.
Will you
No, I
all
just need-
suddenly get hit by a volley of plasma as on the ridge above you?
Okay, I will say this though. You were able to make out some of the one building much easier because you're at a different angle to the keep,
Right.
or not the keep, the citadel. My notes have it listed as a keep, but that was before I started calling it a citadel. So now I'm just going to mix those up internally, even though they're completely different things. And only I will care about that.
Yep.
I don't know.
The central like the big tower you saw while you were closer to the actual structures that was mostly obscured by the walls, and also I'll say Ustin, you can see this. You can't make much details about it, but you can see it. It's like a monolithic spire raising out of the citadel, maybe twice to 3 times as high as the walls, which are still very high as well. But it's a weird it doesn't taper upward, it's stepped. There are 3 sections, so there's a section a little bit taller than the walls itself, and then it goes inward, and then another like part of a round thing, then inward.
You mean
then
kind
up.
of like how Orthanc was in the Lord of the Rings films, where it's like staged or stepped?
Yeah, a bit staged upward as it goes.
Yeah.
A bit like the ziggurat to Zagul we found.
No, that was actually like it was a ziggurat, but it was like a flowy step. This is definitely a part of its initial design. It's definitely defensive in nature. You can see like basically each step would be a battlement or some sort of like fighting position on this large tower.
But
And the
being
tallest
a spire
one-
is more tower-like, isn't it?
Yeah, more of a tower. You can tell there are floors on some of these, but it's probably very chunky, very solid as a structure. What you can see a couple of windows here and there, and you can definitely tell there's a couple of rooms near the top,
Sorry.
which you can't make out super good detail because of your distance and just the general atmosphere of everything. But this is as you're moving closer and closer. I'm gonna need everybody to make a stealth check. Remember,
Remember, you get plus 10 dex.
so just roll it, and we'll just add that afterwards, just mentally.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I also need to give myself advantage.
No, you don't.
No, I do because
Oh.
it'll take away because of the armor I'm wearing.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Oh,
18.
Ah, so that would be a 17.
And you get 12, Ustinia.
Yeah, instead of 12.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
My God, guys.
No, wait. Does that plus
Oh, no.
10? Does that plus 10 stack on top of what your modifiers are already?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the final number is what you're adding the 10 to.
Yeah,
So-
my stealth.
So it's a 12,
18.
18, 14, 13.
Yeah.
So distinctly average and only saved by Rivallon's spell, might I
Yes.
I think you can call it properly shit, actually.
Fair.
add. Well, I
yeah.
remember I take the average. I take the I'm taking the average of the whole party's rolls, so the 2 18s helps
It's
you
a-
out quite a bit.
It's a party roll.
Yeah, it's a party roll.
I'm gonna quickly run my plate downstairs. I'll be right back.
I'm gonna go jump.
I'm going to do this.
All right.
Okay.
Good on you,
Cloud.
Rivallon. But okay, so not as quiet as you wanted to be. The party as a whole is moving, and they're trying to be stealthy. You can, but it's difficult. The ground's not even. It's shifting slightly, and it's weird because there's sand here and there, but then in other areas it's more packed hard dirt. So you're never sure what you're your foot's going to land on until you already have put your foot down. So there's some slips, and that creates some like jangles from people's equipment as you walk forward from like old forgotten war machine and barricade to another, kind of leapfrogging as you go. But it doesn't take you long, probably 25 minutes before you are at, I'm assuming, Rivallon, you're going to one of the openings in the, like,
Yes.
the broken openings of the wall. Okay. You go towards, do you go to, like, a nearest one? Like, are you just going, like, are you making a beeline, or are you trying to, like, are you trying to be, like, extra stealth by going around, or trying to, which are you trying to do?
Given my companion's lack of stealth abilities, I am being extra cautious with them and taking them as a quiet and like out of the way route as possible.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you, I'll give you this, okay? You can either go kind of like straight in,
Yeah.
and then and we'll just use that stealth check, or if you take an extra cautious route, you'll have to, enough time will have passed, you'll have to make another stealth check, because you kind of, basically
We'll
you're
make
going
another stealth
around.
check.
All right,
Okay,
everybody go.
So as you go,
The
as you
minimum they
go
can get is
cautiously
11.
around, yeah, as you go kind of around, everybody make another stealth check to see.
Incorrect. My minimum is actually +1.
9. 10.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn it!
Oh.
Sorry. First one.
Oh,
You only rolled one, Rivallon.
Oh, thank God.
No, that was Ustenia. He rolls at disadvantage because of his armor.
Hey, way to go, Mog. You get 26.
Oh my God, Sesh.
26 as well.
Oh, it's okay. Sesh got
That's
a
a 10.
10. 9.
I got 25.
10. You got
Sesh
10.
No,
Sesh
just the
fell
fact
over.
that Sesh
Nine.
still rolled a
Yeah.
0 is
Yeah.
hilarious.
It's a +1, -1.
Yeah, that's
I rolled
hilarious.
a 1 -1.
So that's
because,
a
yeah.
So that's a 31,
Yeah.
25,
Yeah.
9, 26, 26. Okay.
Yeah.
So the 0 definitely does bring the average down a lot, might I add, because that's how statistics work.
It's
Okay,
still higher than what we had.
I'm
That
just
is
gonna
true,
do
that
a
is
quick
true.
bit of math there, because, you know.
I think that average would probably equate to probably like 17, 17,
I'm
18.
gonna
It'd be high teens. It'd be high teens. I'm
31.
guessing high teens.
31,
25.
56.
25 plus 10.
9.
Poor Sesh.
Oh
What
no,
are those
no,
numbers
yeah, it would be
again?
10. It's 31,
97.2.
25.
Over 5. So
So 31, 26, 26.
it's 19.
25.
19.5.
Yeah, so yeah, high teens. That's what I thought. And then 10 is Sesh, so that'd be all. It'd be about
Thank you
19.
for the
How did I
shot.
get
Follow
20 How
Shadowlands.
did I get 23 from 23.6 from that?
Don't
I
know.
don't know, but it's remember it's
better than it
it's
was.
5 people. It's better than it was. High teens. It's good. But Sesh is having some trouble. Sesh, you're having a bit of trouble. But your other friends are helping you out through this. They're trying to help you keep footing. You're moving at a decent pace. Overall, it's better. It's better. Essentially, like the weakest link of the parties being lofted by the other parts easier. But you find a little bit more of an out-of-the-way area through the walls, and you begin going through it. This one actually as well, you made sure to go to one that has a low opening, so you don't have to climb up over old rocks and debris. This one's fairly cleared, actually, so this might be like a cleared breach of some sort during the siege. But you get on the hill and move towards the breach. The walls itself, as you pass through, you can tell it's been a long time that it's been open to the elements, because the stones are windswept, so it's very smooth, almost like river rocks, just from the wind passing through here. And all throughout this, you're hearing wind as it is going through the ravine. But when you go in past the opening, that sound that's been fairly constant since you started moving kind of goes away, and instead is replaced by a whistling noise of the wind kind of what little wind is getting in through that opening as it goes parallel is kind of whistling to your ears.
What type of rock is it?
This looks to
the walls
be-
are made of.
It looks to be maybe local or some sort of local stone. It is grayish in color.
Could I roll
It's-
a masonry check for that? Because I was a
Uh,
mason.
You could, yeah, if you wanted to, you could roll an intelligence check. To
Sure.
see if you can.
Add
also
my
you can
proficiency because I'm
'cause you're a
proficient with it.
mason.
Yes, you can add your
And
proficiency.
not in the funny handshake kind of way.
I mean, maybe.
We've definitely
So-
made that joke before. It might start going on the list.
Yeah. No, wasn't great. Only an 8.
You're not too familiar with this rock. It is local. It's some sort of hard stone. It's definitely been mined near here. Maybe not this ravine itself, but it's been mined somewhere near here. But what you're greeted by when you enter the actual almost courtyard of this large citadel is there are 5 buildings. You enter near one of the openings between 2 of them. You can see an old central building, the biggest of them all, maybe the actual keep, which is what a keep is. It's the central square defensive structure inside of the walls of a castle. But it is big, maybe 5 stories tall, made of stone. The roof has been caved in multiple places. It is the roof is made of wood. You can see wood lattice and cross beams through the holes, but the structure itself is made of stone. The walls itself, you can tell, have been just windswept as well, and also everything here direct sunlight for decades. You can tell there used to be banners flying from some of these windows and parts of the masonry. These banners still exist, tattered, but also sun-bleached, almost white cream color now, the previous imagery gone. You can tell where the shadows of the place exist because they don't get as much sunlight, and the paintings on the sides of walls, which it seems this place was decorated interiorly, had an interior decoration of some sort along the walls painted. Only the places that don't get sun seem to exist, but they are still pockmarked and scratched, but they depict Bahamut in various positions and areas of triumph and his followers, etc. And a symbol of the blue dragon flight in prominence here and there. You also see bodies still on the ground, though old, many, many years old. No flesh left on them. Just sun-bleached, dried bones and armor and equipment of various different races, but only of certain makes of armor. Dragonborn seem to be wearing a very somewhat uniform kind of set of equipment and robes, whereas most of the others either are wearing like thick chainmail and gambesons, or old style square helms with eye slits in them, with the adorned star of Palor etched into the tops and on their armors. But no paint exists, no color exists on most of these, the sun having bleached it white. What do you do?
Sesh is touching the paintings, like sort of in awe of it. She has never seen something like this before. It's been many, many, many decades since she's actually seen a temple dedicated to Bahamut, and this is mind-blowing for her that this sort of thing existed at some point.
Isaac's gonna grab the star pale around his neck and just start muttering a few prayers.
Mog is going to wonder whether those skeletons are going to come back to life at some point today. So whether they should burn them.
I cast animate
Rivallon
dead.
starts going, bugger, I missed another fight.
I cast animate dead.
Yes,
All the corpses rise.
I think. I think even all the. I think even this combat predates you, Rivallon.
Isaac and Lasesha, are you okay? I know this place means a lot to you both.
I'm fine. Oh, that didn't sound convincing
That
at all.
wasn't fun.
No, that's
What was I?
Did you mean for it to sound convincing or not?
Neurotic and emotional.
I'm
I
fine.
meant for it to sound more than that for sure.
The only way it could be worse if you. I'm fine.
voice crack. Just up.
No,
Yeah.
worse than that. I'm fine.
We're here on a mission. We're on a job. We're here on
No,
a mission.
worse is I'm fine.
No, that's just me.
Isaac, I'm fine. Leave me alone.
Sesh has her hands up on the painting, and she has like her hand like brushing gently against like the paint, like a depiction of Bahamut. Nah, I don't think I am, but that doesn't really matter right now.
Damn, he had a nice ass.
Damn, that's thick.
Bahamut's a lady, right?
No, Bahamut's
No,
a
that-
dude.
that's
Tiamat's
Tiamat.
girl. Yeah.
Tiamat. Sorry, yeah, it's the
Tiamat's
That's the evil one.
Tiamat's the bitch. Tiamat's the evil one.
I thought they were. I thought they were sisters for some reason.
No, they're twin
No.
brother sisters.
That's it.
Yeah.
But do you venture deeper in to the?
I'll follow the party once I start to move again. Muttering prayers when I see the dead bodies.
But do you notice there are multiple there are multiple buildings. Got my own cheat sheet here, because
Stand by.
there are
Red
multiple.
Moogle is doing her normal kind of, aha, I have an idea.
No,
I'll
I've
give
been
you- I'll give
reading
you
about
that.
rangers.
But there are multiple buildings. There's the tiered tower, and you can see clearer now. You don't have a full line of sight, but you can see clearer. It's triangular. It's not rounded, so it has two square outlets going towards you, and then probably a squared or at least some sort of outlet going the opposite way. So it's like a triangular in design, but it goes up, almost impossibly up to your perspective. The large central keep. Another building that is connected to both of them through suspended overhead walkways. That looks to be maybe a fortified church with possible dormitories attached to it. And then because on your way in you saw it, there is another squared building, but it is much smaller, possibly a barracks or an armory or some sort of logger or storage building. But that is behind the church from
Where
where
did
you're
we
at.
see the dragons go?
Hang on.
Turns to River.
Beginning of third level, you can use an action and expend one ranger spell slot to focus your awareness on the region around you. For 1 minute per level of the spell slot you expend, you can sense whether the following types of creatures are present within 1 mile of you or within 6 miles if you're in a favoured terrain. Aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fey, fiends, and undead. This feature doesn't reveal the creature's location or number,
So that might
Yeah.
not work, but
but it would tell us if they were within a mile.
and it would tell us if there's only going to be any undead.
Yeah, if you want to, you can go ahead and do that.
Guys, do you want me to do that, or do you want me to wait?
I will just say, because
Seems like
it
a
was a
good
week,
idea.
you do know they're here, at least from when you do know they came into this area. So
But
Yeah.
we
would
don't know what else
I'm
there
just saying.
is.
There could be
Yeah.
something else. I mean, we talk about live
they're
inside. Time to
You're
set
not after
trap.
dragon.
What'd you say?
Yeah, I think he's not after dragons. It's
Okay. I will let you do that if you would like to. Take a minute and use your spell slot. You can do so.
Guys, do you want me to do that?
Sure. Seems like a good idea.
radar can't hurt.
Yeah. More radar.
See what.
Okay,
else.
radar's
All
on.
information.
Okay. So give me what you can list what you can detect one by one, and I'll tell you if you
Okay.
detect it.
I've got it.
You got it.
I've got it.
I got it. You got it.
Abilities, primeval awareness. Right. Aberration.
No.
Celestials other than Isaac.
Wait,
I don't.
yeah, you
count
get a.
as celestial.
You don't. It doesn't count as that, and no.
Dragon.
Yes.
So they're within a mile. Elementals.
No.
Fey.
No, elves don't count as fae, do they?
No, they're humanoids.
Fiends.
Humanoids? No. Nope.
Undead.
No. Not within a mile. You just detect dragons within at least a mile of you. And again,
Right.
you can't tell numbers or direction. They're just, you get dragon. That's what you get.
There be dragons.
There be dragons within a mile.
There is a storm coming. Well, that at least confirms the suspicion about the battlefield being false, which is good. True.
We should probably start exploring the buildings.
How long
Okay.
have we got left of the hour, Roach?
You've got a half hour, I'll say. Just grand total as you explored the area you just went into and how long it took you to get there. You have about a half hour before your trace. And I'll ask you to do stealth checks when they come applicable. But if you venture further inward,
What's
Do you want me to hit the mic?
you as you go a little bit further
Bless you.
inward, sticking to like shadowed areas or near walls, trying to stay quiet, you see now more remnants. This was like a side area where you entered. Now in the main courtyard area, you see banners of Palor, because they have like a gold Palorian star on the top of the wooden pole. But they are tattered and sun-bleached, as all cloth in the area seem to be. Bodies still adorn the various areas. You do see the tall tower, central tower. Well, it's not central, but it's just the tower in the citadel. Although the bodies are scattered around as if there was a large combat here that was never cleaned up, you can tell it's been cleared around the tower. Bodies are now piled. This doesn't look. This looks recent. Dust has been disturbed. You can see drag mark. The tower, or the area around the tower, has been cleared, and you can also see the doors are closed completely.
Do any of the doors
Whereas
look big
most-
enough to get a dragon inside?
No. The only one that could be close would be the large keep building that you're at this point against for cover. You did see that one, and that has large double doors that might, but they are broken inward or on the ground, kind of shattered, as if they were like a battering ram busted them open. The only doors that seem to be intact are the ones in the tower, and they look to be metal of some sort. And there are still... The bodies have been moved, but the battlements haven't, or the barricades. There's there's metal, almost hedgehog-like sharp protrusions that have been planted onto the ground in various patterns to slow down cavalry, etc.
Yeah.
Are put here. Those still exist. Those are still there. But the bodies have been moved very recently, it looks like. Make another perception check. Anybody who wants to. I'll say advantage
Yep.
on
What's your
Ustenia.
perception?
Do I just notice it because of my 18?
19.
No, you're still going to need to roll.
23.
15.
24.
Don't you have advantage on perception checks?
Oh yeah, that's right. I should roll.
That's
yeah,
the
you
whole point of your shield.
Oh, well,
Never
fuck.
mind.
Never mind.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
you,
fuck.
yeah, you get the
Isaac
15
isn't
instead
looking.
of the 9.
He's looking at a lot of the bodies and stuff around. Oz Palor.
As you're all about ready to kind of move on from where you are, you look up in the tower as it has gained your attention. You look up on the first, I guess, defensive ring that exists, the lowest one, which is still maybe about 4 stories tall above the ground. You see movement. You see a black tail whip across and then go back in, and it comes into focus as the stone of the tower is a little darker than everything else. You take notice. 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 6 shapes that are distinct are resting or somewhat just kind of hanging out by themselves on the outs on this big structure. You can't see all of it because it's obscured by its own structure on the opposite sides of where you are. But you see them kind of just like resting about, not really doing much, kind of lazily. You see no humanoids from your current perspective. You just see basically the tops of these over the lip. But there's more than the 4 you saw come in Rivallon, definitely.
Right.
They just seem to be like just hanging out in the open air.
Well, that complicates things.
I would never suggest this if we didn't have Master Rivallon's current magic on us, but can we sneak past them to our actual target?
No.
Surely we can by going in the tower. They're on like an outer bastion, right?
Yeah, but you have to. At some point, we're gonna have to go past them.
I just want to
We
point
don't
out, because
know
I did
that.
say this, all of the buildings that you know are connected through a suspended walkway. And there is one that does go to the tower from the fortified church structure. And it's about like 2 or 3 stories up, and it's like overhanged and broken windows and stuff. It looks like it was contained at one point. But that is a way to get to.
Alright, I didn't know about that then. Yes, we probably can.
I just want, well, I put it, it was kind of a passing. I just want to reiterate, all of the structures have like a walkway that's above, like maybe
They're all
like,
connected.
stay out of the sun. Yeah, to stay out of the sun kind of the thing. Is
Like the Daedra plane in Oblivion. So it's like loads of towers interconnected by walkways.
Yeah, but it's not interconnected. There's just like one passageway between most of the thing. But you can say the one that is directly connected is a fortified church. The only other way you can see to get into the tower would be its front door, which is closed. Whether or not it's locked.
Right, if we can get to the church, then we can make it to the bastion.
I think the church is a good route. I mean, walking in the front door doesn't sound like a great idea when we're going to be facing what is essentially the closest this party has gotten to having a mortal enemy.
Not mine.
Which you haven't
I.
killed. Yeah.
Not you.
Now mortal enemies with Liban and Zagul. Congratulations. Welcome to the team.
Oh yeah, that was part of your contract.
Yeah.
The mortal enemy status update. You have to change all social media to.
Normally you would
It's
have already got
complicated.
the newsletter,
Well-
but we're in the desert, so I've not had the time to write it out. And considering
Yeah,
about the newsletter, it's just basically a big X.
Okay, guys. Fortified church or front door? What do we think?
Fortified church.
Fortified church.
We need to take advantage of our stealth as much as possible.
Church.
And if we might be able to find something in church that can, if we have a quick 5-minute look around, that can help Sesh.
Maybe. Yeah.
Just so you know, structure-wise, fortified church does look to be, it is quite large, about on par with the keep in terms of height, and it looks to maybe have some sort, like I said, some residential dormitories like built into its structure that are connected to it. But if you head over there, you need everybody to make another stealth check, as you're basically having to cross some open ground to get to the church's entrance, which is battered open.
Oh god.
That's about
12.
Natural 20. So that's a 31
No.
from me.
Oh,
Oh.
no, to me it looked like an 18. It like did the little thing. That was weird.
So we have 2 ones in there. 2 ones
Yeah,
in there.
it's a good thing. It's a good thing those aren't automatic failures. So that's a 12, 23, 17, 31, 11. Okay.
Mob falls over.
Isaac.
Okay. So you quickly cross like the open ground, which is again, sun is basically overhead at this point. Like it's near noon. So the sun's directly overhead. There's almost no shadows being cast by anything except when you're directly under. That's you're darting quickly. You can the only thing you hear is the slight whistling noise of the wind that's being caught by the openings in the wall, and your feet kind of against the gritty stone that is covered by dust and sand.
If we
But
are
you-
going to go towards the bastion, I would suggest that we get inside and wait till night.
Because then they might not be here anymore.
Exactly. If
Smack man.
Christinia's theory on the dragons moving around at night, and
It's not a bad shout.
Would
Okay.
you be able to cast your spell again?
well, we'd have to take a rest between because there wouldn't be anything. So if we could take a rest, then I should get my spell slots back.
Because you could meditate
Yeah.
and you get your spell slots back.
I can meditate for 4 hours.
Okay. Well, you meditate for 4 hours, but then it's another. Then it's another 4 hours of light activity, isn't it? That you can only partake in for it to count as a long rest.
I don't think it. I think he can just
Is
4
that-
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it just
Is
4
it,
hours?
be-
I'm
is
no, I'm
it a
asking
super
specifically.
special elf thing?
As far as I know, it's just 4 hours. Because that's
It's an elf
considered a long
thing
rest for me.
because he's an elf boy. With his spiky ears and shit.
Elf and trance. Here we go. Trance. When you sleep, instead they meditate deeply, remaining subconscious for 4 hours. The common word trance. While meditating, you can dream after a fashion. Such dreams. After resting in this way, you gain the same benefit as 8 hours. So yes, you can just do a 4 hour. So
So whilst
agree.
Rivallon is meditating, we can have a short rest, search this place, see if there's anything cool we can pick up. We're in
if
a
you'd like to.
Bahamutian church.
There
That's
could be
true, yeah. We're in a
Awesome
Bahamutian
swords that
church.
Rivallon could use.
I haven't been in one of those before.
A
As much
better
as I follow the faith.
bow that Rivallon can use. Yeah.
If nothing
Yeah,
else, then Sesh could maybe have a chat with.
I
man
still think
himself.
it's a really good idea. I think that is a good idea. But Justinia, what do you think?
Well, I don't particularly want to get into fight with all 6 of them things. So I think maybe sticking around and let them go do other stuff would be beneficial. Not unless anyone can come up with idea of trap all 6 or at least find way to fight one at a time.
Yeah,
Even
it's
if we
a good
could fight
idea.
them one at a time, we'd
But-
need a full-on day's rest in order to recover from the injuries we sustained. Just doing one at a time.
One thing that we do need to be mindful of, yes, we're making this idea now, but this place is attached to dormitories. This could also be where the riders are staying.
In which case, tonight we kill them.
Yeah, well, unless we can
Well,
get the surprise
not
on them
Kill
now.
them.
But
Well,
if they're sleeping at the
kill
same
them.
time as their dragons, they're asleep now.
Well, in which case, we kill them.
I'm
I
okay
suppose,
with
yeah.
killing them. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for killing them.
I
just
like
now.
killing them. My ears are itching. They've been itching for 2 freaking months.
Well, we need to scratch
See,
their itch then.
For
Master
reference,
Rivallon.
you're all doing this conversation while still outside of the actual
Yeah,
entrance.
let's-
to the
let's-
church.
let's
You're
get
just
in.
stacked up.
Let's get in. Let's get in. Let's get in.
Okay.
Let's get in.
So
Breach, breach, breach.
yeah. Go through.
No, no
doors.
breaching. Quiet.
Silent breaching. But you all go past the broken doors, broken-in doors of the church.
Is Spider-Bow tingling?
Yes, that's no. If I'm a threatened, that's all it is.
Okay.
Just past these broken doors are the remains of many individuals in front of you. Their armor still shines below the layer of dust and sand that rest on top of them. the sun not able to bleach them over the years like their brethren outside. The signs of a battle are easy to see here, with the inside of the church's main prayer area taken up by wooden battlements or barricades that look to have been broken and destroyed in some places in front of you. And the sounds of whistling and wind, stuff like that, dissipated as you go in, and now it's just kind of quiet. You see many bodies lying on the ground here and there, and like some of the defenders, some of the attackers, but they're no longer sun bleached well, they're no longer sun bleached. So color still exists in their armor and cloth bits, but the bones are still bare, as it has been many years. This is just the entrance. You'd have to go past these battlements that were constructed of wood and stone, etc., to kind of block this. It looks like this was like a breach of some sort. They were defending against.
Can I do a perception check specifically for voices?
Sure, go ahead.
Could I do the same?
Sure, go ahead.
Wow.
16.
My rolls have been garbage today.
Have you still got enhanced ability on?
No, I
Yeah.
just have advantage because of my shield.
Stealth.
so-
Yeah, but he has it. But yeah.
Yeah, she has advantage for stealth, but also, well, no, just flat for stealth. Because
Perception.
she
Yeah, it's
normally
flat for
has-
stealth because my armor gives me disadvantage,
Yeah.
but I have advantage on
You-
perception because of the shield.
You both listen, and it's just quiet. Very settled quiet. Like nothing in this place is moving. It's just kind of there.
Isaac,
And left.
is anyone
Yes.
scrying on us?
I don't feel any vibrations, do I?
Nope.
I think we're clear.
I approach one of the Bahamutian knights on the ground.
Okay. So you go up to the wooden battlements that are ahead of you. And actually, as you go up to the defenders, you can see they're all dragonborn to a person.
They all have the horns, or there's some sort of telltale
Definitely
features.
The face, and,
Yeah.
etc. They're much, on average larger. But you can see, past the battlements is a large open space where the faithful would have gathered to pray to Bahamut, the Platinum Dragon. A large statue of said deity stands in the center of this area. Large and in a striking pose. Parts look to have been damaged in the fight for the church, with chips and scratches along its otherwise smooth surface in the upper parts where it was not touched. Sitting around the base of the grand statue are what look to be the bodies of his faithful, all wearing armor and with weapons still in hand. Just beyond this ring is another ring of bodies, those of the attacking crusaders. It looks as if none were able to reach the statue directly during the actual fight. As they all kind of
She
stand, the
murmurs something
remnants
to
of the
herself.
battle.
I just feel like Roach is trying to push Sesh into we should destroy the Kafir pigurines.
We should
Inshallah.
crush them. Look what
You
they
know,
did.
that's what I feel like.
You
I
guys
mean,
went
they
to
were the
the
whole reason
Crusades.
is they were the offensive people here. They kind of were
Mog's
Hans are we
going
the
to go up-
baddies?
Mog's going to go up to Sesh and just sort of put a comforting arm on her shoulder.
You're much shorter than Sesh.
Like that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a small of the back. Small of the back.
That's a bit intimate. I'm thinking
That's true.
shoulder.
Fair enough. Sesh just gives you a nod, but she will say in Draconic to the individual whom she walked up to on the battlements that you did well. Rest. Enjoy your time on Mount Celestia with the righteous. And then she will step over the barricade.
Could you ask them if they
Intercom.
have any swords that I can have?
I mean, they all have their weapons, but they're probably all rusted to shit.
Yeah, they're not in great condition.
Yeah.
You don't
Sand
see
will
no
do that.
magic. Yeah, it's pretty corrosive. But past the main prayer area can be seen hallways that most likely lead to the dormitories that make up much of this building structure, it seems, as well as what might be a way to the higher floors of the building, as you see no stairs in your eye line here. The whole area with the statue probably takes up 2 or 3 floors, but you can see it's like this is maybe a fifth of the structure, like this area. This is probably majority of where a lot of them lived, undated that lived here.
Just as as we're walking through the Palorian Fallen, do I see anyone that looks slightly more of rank than anyone else?
Like it's fairly. They're less uniformed than the defenders.
Yeah.
Which makes sense since the defenders were a part of a singular Bahamidian order, while this was made up of multiple different faithful.
Yeah.
You don't. Nothing really jumps out at you. Although the sun has not bleached them, you can tell the luster is gone from much of the equipment. Whether or not something was gold plated at one point would be very difficult to tell.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's mostly just, and the only common equipment seems to be like a tabard of the Star of Palor around many of them. Some of them don't have helmets. Some of them are wearing different types of armor under the tabard. It's just very mismatched in that way. Mostly just that star identifies them as individuals. You probably think from your battle training, or from your training in combat, etc., probably wouldn't have been the first in the breach, as these were most likely.
So I will walk up to the statue of Bahamut. I will put my hand on it, trying to be respectful to all the bodies in the ring, and cast mending on it as I pray to Bahamut.
Okay. Mending only affects a 1 foot area.
Yeah, she will walk around it and keep doing it, praying.
Okay. I'll say you get most of it. Like you get like the chunks and stuff, but you're not gonna really fix the finish. That would be more like a stone shape thing.
That would
you
be
could
something
do.
that she would need to do, actually, with her tools and stuff.
Or stone shape as
Or
a spell.
spell,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah.
I have that prepared though. I don't think I have.
Yeah, so it's more just like chunks and stuff that were taken out by like an axe hitting it from an odd angle and like batting a chunk away. You find that chunk. Basically, you can't create something out of nowhere. You have to. It mends like 2 pieces together. Mending is just like that.
Yeah,
So
you need
the
to find
things
the
that you can,
The
the things that you can fix, you can kind of put together. It looks a little better, but it's still scratched in places. There are missing parts that are just maybe they were like pulverized when they were hit, or maybe
Someone
took
whacked
it.
him with a mace and
Yeah, there's just bits and pieces. Like the statue overall is still intact. It's just the bits that were lower got hit and struck.
yeah.
More
She
so.
felt the urge to do it anyway. So
Yeah, but yeah, you do that. What do you lot do as you enter and pass the battlements and are in the main area?
Take our break.
Take
Yeah,
a
I was
break,
about to
take
say
a-
that.
Yeah,
That's
that's what I was
what the-
going to say. See, are you going
See.
ahead and you're taking your 4 hour to try and
Yeah.
get your spell again?
Yeah,
My spell's back.
we'll try and find a. Yeah. We did close the doors when we came in. They
There
were
are-
closed.
No, there was no technical
Doors.
doors. They were
Okay, so we
broken
need to be
in.
as far from that entrance area as possible if we're gonna sit down or rest.
Okay. So you go ahead and kind of.
So we're probably around the statue.
Yeah, near the statue. Like, unless you wanted to go like towards the dormitories, but those are like hallways. You'd have to go down and stuff. Staying in the main area, you're like near the statue, and you don't bed down, but you take a break. Rivallon goes into his trance, trying to get you back So he gets his spells back, and we will go ahead and take our midpoint break.
Okay, so we are gonna go grab refreshments, refresh ourselves. We'll be back in around 5 to 10 minutes. Do the same yourselves, and we'll see you then.
See you soon.
Maybe I switched.
I don't know what's going on, but my foot, the back of my foot, back side of my foot has been numb for like an hour. Can't seem to get it back.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Don't know. It's not even like the back side. It's like the back outer edge of my heel, and like up to my ankle is like numb. That specific area. I don't know what it is.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I haven't been able to kind of like get it back or get like I would even be good with just like tingliness ever since I took a shower today. I guess maybe I was standing wrong or something. I'll get something to drink.
I'll go bio break.
Okay.
I just want to say, I've been thinking about all the things Sesh would say to Isaac if roles were switched here, and Mog came in when Sesh originally did, and Sesh came in like 3 sessions ago. Oh boy, the relationship would be very different. This is also really, really shocking for her because she's never seen a statue of Bahamut anywhere.
Well,
What are you drinking and why is it purple?
it's not purple. It's just the glass like gets opaque, like,
Oh.
or it gets thing. It's iced coffee.
Oh.
I got like pre-made iced coffee in the fridge. I just decided to take it. That's the only coffee I can really drink is iced coffee. I don't know why. It kind of like takes the edges off the bitter.
They say though, for your throat, the worst thing you can drink is cold coffee.
Yeah, well, my throat's not bothering me right now.
Not right now.
I'm good.
Maybe sooner. Maybe later.
Maybe.
When you're
If
after
I
giving
can't,
out.
if
those-
I mean, if I have to, I can just go ahead and like make another tea.
Oh.
I got chai tea in different flavors and Earl Grey and a couple of black tea bags I can make.
Oh, fair enough. See, I'm just a simple man. I just have coffee. But yeah, this is like really jarring for me because I'm thinking about all the times Sesh has been to church, and I'm like, she's probably never been to church before. She's never actually probably been to like a proper church for Bahamut ever. And she's probably seen more dead followers of Bahamut than she's seen live ones so far, maybe.
Possibly. Are you here, Atari?
Yeah, I'm in.
Okay. I didn't know. I can't see. I don't have your... I've got a couple of windows up. I can't watch your stream.
That's cool.
I took the plunge. I ordered a box of Tau Fire Warriors. Or I guess they're the strike team slash breacher team bundle box that you get. Which, by the way, is highway robbery.
Yeah.
It's 13 miniatures for $50.
Yeah.
God damn.
There's a video going on YouTube of people taking the plunge into 40k, and they're spending like $4,000. I think it was like they were. I don't know who they are, but they're like a group of guys going into a games workshop in like the US and saying, "I want to get into 40k," and each of them buy like an army, like an actual proper like army. I think. I don't know what size.
I was
it is,
gonna
but
say
I'm
half that's just gonna be the paint if they're buying from GW,
like, yeah, true.
I mean,
or their goddamn paintbrushes. I looked those up. My
yeah.
God, those brushes. Not even Windsor and Newton Series 7s cost that much. You can pick those
Yeah, I
up
know.
for $15 a pop. There are Citadel Artificer brushes that are $30 goddamn dollars, and they're not even that good. I've seen
Why you
posts,
don't pay the price? The whole point with pricing.
but
is-
people don't know that. That's the
Right.
problem.
Yeah, obviously.
People don't know
But-
that.
But the problem I have with those videos, because I know of those videos, is that they were kind of going in it with that very. They know what they were doing. They know what they're about. They're going in.
Yeah,
like,
they're not going
we're
fresh
gonna
in."
spend. We're going to be spending the most ridiculous amount on things that, if anyone just basically asks anyone else in the hobby, would avoid almost all of those extra costs.
Yeah.
Like you say, oh, I want to get into 40k. Like, ask your friend, and they'll be like, right, okay, don't buy
Pick
this.
up a
Don't
start
buy
collecting
that.
box.
Start this, yeah. So they didn't actually use the most effective manners of getting into the hobby. They were just doing it because, like, look how
That's my
really
problem with stuff
expensive-
like that, because
Yeah.
they don't teach. Because there are people that want to get in, but they don't know, and they're gonna go getting into the hobby. That'll be like,
Yeah,
'cause it's
it's
all
not- it's
viral.
not-
They'll go to that. Like, no,
Yeah.
if you want to save money and you don't necessarily know exactly what you're doing or have a theme in mind, pick up a start collecting box because
Yeah.
you're going to save 50% of the cost on there. Like the Tau one's really good because it's you get a full strike or breacher team.
You know what's
ethereal.
another really good one? The Elder one. Like, that
Yeah,
is...
that one's good
You
too.
get 2 of those, and the
Well, I'm
Wraith
talking
Lord,
specifically because of how overpriced
you
the
get,
Tau stuff
no, it's
is.
even got a Wraith Lord. But the Elder one, you just get 2 of those boxes. You've already got the start of the
Well,
Ghost Army,
For reference,
which is a fantastic list.
Yeah, no. For reference here, in terms of prices here, the start collecting box for the Tau, you can pick up for about $85. It's about $10 off of the 95 recommended price. The 3 battle suits that come in that box are $75 alone here. $75 for that, plus $50 for the 1 squad of Fire Warriors. Then an extra $30 or $40, I forget, on the ethereal on a pedestal.
Yeah.
So you're saving almost $100.
And does that one come with all the weapon options for the battle suits? Because the Elder one comes with all the weapon options for the
it's because they're all in a sprue,
which is
I think
fantastic. So you can
it's just the
magnetize.
sprues.
And
So
magnetize. Like that's the other one. It's such an easy thing to do.
My
Magnetize.
problem is that I get why the infantry box for the Tau costs what it does, because you can make 2 different units out of the box. It's like 230 pieces in the box. And you make 13 models. It's 10 infantry pieces and 3 drones is what you can make out of there. And you can make either a strike team or a breacher team. I get it, but it's still only 10 infantry models for $50. Technically 13 models for $50, whereas even the Imperial Guard are better. Because it's $40 for 10 guardsmen.
I think so, yeah. Because you get less.
Yeah.
You get less options, I think.
Well, you get far less options because it's
How
the
much-
same
how much-
sprue from 4th edition.
How much
Really?
are the
I thought
Primaris Marines, the Intercessor squads?
Oh, those things are
Because-
$60, $70 for
Yeah,
5,
because
right? Or
You
something
only
like that.
get one type of weapon. Technically, it's free because you get 3 different versions of the weapon, but really, it's just the one weapon option.
I mean, I can look it up right
Majority
now.
of Primaris is mono.
I mean, I never buy from GW directly because that's
It's
stupid.
horrible. It's really
but let's-
horrible. Like,
I mean, but the thing is, you can't do that. You can't not do that from a lot of these things because most stores can't stock an inventory of it because they're limited. They can't do that. You can't have an inventory of back order items or backlog items,
Yeah,
which is
same here.
which is
like,
for some of the
there's-
older armies, 90% of their list is back order.
Yeah.
Like I think I think at one point 100% of the Sisters of Battle were back order items that you could not stock even if you wanted to. You had to order special, and they are limited on how much. If you're talking specifically about the Space Marines, if I could find Primaris Space
I'm
Marines.
looking for like Intercessor or Hellblaster because that's a 10-man squad. They all have the same
Intercessor.
weapon. You got
Intercessors,
no extra weapon
$60.
options. Yes, no other weapon options apart from the little magazine that you can get on it, which defines which type of bolt rifle it is, and those parts are tiny. So other than that, the whole shtick with the Primaris is that they're ultra specialists, which is kind of funny given that and intercessors are supposed to be flexible, but they all basically have the same weapon loadout, and they're charging.
You're
that
better
much.
off. You're better off collecting basic Marines instead of the Primaris because of how much expensive it is. In terms of price per model, it's cheaper to do basic Marines than it is than doing Primaris because Primaris are so overpriced for what they are, and they can charge it because
They have
what are you gonna
the rights on it, essentially.
They have the rights on it, yeah. Well, also it's just because they're also, by the way, mark my words. In 9th edition, the regular Space Marines are gone. It's only going to be Primaris. They're going to get rid of regular Space Marines.
Probably.
That's going to happen. It's already happening. When's the last time there's been a regular Space Marine release? At least 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's been just Primaris main range and then lieutenants or heroes for the because they're all monopost.
I don't think I'm fine with the old Marine collection going in time, like not doing an Age of Sigma on us. You know?
Oh no, it's gonna
Bring
9th
out-
edition. Mark my words.
Yeah,
It's gone. It's gone. I will bet you money it's gone. But
Anyway, can we?
anyway,
is-
let's get
is
back
Mo-
in.
Is Mog there?
Yeah,
Mog-
Mog's there.
Cool.
Okay, good.
Let's.
So, I'm gonna need everybody to make a stealth check, but without the benefits of your pass that trace, because you are going to be spending 4 hours in the building.
Ooh.
14.
Ooh.
Which
11.
means Sesh is at disadvantage, okay? Okay. Well, technically, I was gonna say, Rivallon, you wouldn't necessarily need to, but because you're just gonna be sitting there. But yeah. Okay. So 2, 11, 8, 18. Mog. Good time to roll well. Good time to roll well.
That's still not good.
Ow.
No.
Can-
Sesh rolled
I-
a 3, -1.
How long are we in a thing for? Did you say? We're 4 hours.
4
Yeah, no,
hours.
that's not the last
4
long enough. Fuck.
It's 4 hours that you're
It's
doing
just-
this. So most of you are trying to keep quiet for your time. Like
But
you're
Sesh
just
is
trying
just
to
being, I only care about Bahamut.
Sesh,
Screw the
Fine.
rest of you.
Sesh, you've already said you're spending some time like going around trying to fix the statue and kind of looking around and such.
Making a
So
racket.
a few times, like your foot hits a sword and kind of like against the stone, like clacks against the stone. But it's not that bad. Stenya, you're trying to keep quiet as well. You know, you move some stuff. You like, maybe move like a body a little bit, and like part of its armor like clacks against the stone as you kind of back away slowly. But nothing, not like ooh, what's this? And then the whole like bookshelf falls over and a cat yells out. None of that.
No pushing a cartoon down the stairs.
Yeah, none of that.
Oh, it makes a difference. They're gonna spot us.
But you go the full 4 hours. Sun starts getting low in the sky. The heat of the day begins to slowly ebb. Even though you were in shadow and shade inside this building, it's still basically baking. But you can see the sun going down. Slowly the sky is turning a shade of red. And you finish your meditative state. Rivallon, you come out of it. Feel reinvigorated. And now have your spells recharged.
Yay!
What would you all like to do? The only exit out of this room, just for reference, you are in a large prayer area room. There is the entrance to the whole building, and then you can see the hallways to the dormitories. Those are it's kind of like the only two ways out of the room that you're
There's
in.
no stairs.
No, you think maybe the stairs are in the dormitory complex because they would have to go up for the different floors. This looks to go almost all the way to the ceiling. This like room you're in, just the statues, the space for the statue is that tall. I wouldn't say it's life-sized, but it's fairly close. That statue. That's where you would need to go. So would you like to? So what are you doing? Are you going to be going deeper, or are you going to go back outside?
Well, we want to find a way to the bridge, don't we?
Yeah, I think we want to go through deeper into the
I think we
dormitories.
should wait though.
We need to go deeper.
Well, we want to wait before we go outside.
No, we want to wait to see whether or not the dragons take off.
Well, you can't see them from where you're at right now. If you'd like to like peek out and like observe, you could do that if you'd like to. You could maybe get line of sight from the doorways to where you know them to be. Is that what you're talking about? To
Yeah,
observe that?
if they take off, then we need to know that they're taking off.
Okay, I'll say because you were trance-like. You're saying do that while you're in a trance, just kind of keep an eye on like a thing
Well, we
like
can
have
sort of
somebody
all
just
keep an eye
watching.
on the windows.
The windows to the place are tall and stained, so they're not like can't see things outside. More decorative than functional. And
They're
also you can't like
freaking dragons. If they take off, I'm sure we'd see a massive bloody shadow from the direction.
only if they'd go above you. But if you'd like to, I could say during that 4 hours you kind of rotated somebody from like the doorway to keep an eye outside. Just like, stay in the shadow but keep an eye outside. If that's the case, then
No, Mog's gonna have done it.
Mog's gonna do it apparently.
She's
So
just
she'll
gonna
do
stay
it.
by the door quietly.
Okay, Mog, make a perception check.
Perceive something, Mog. Perceive something.
I will do my best.
Perceive.
That
Okay.
works.
Okay.
I'm not gonna.
23.
All right. I saw that. Thank you.
No, I'm telling the podcast when it eventually comes out.
What
That. Thank
podcast?
you.
It's
Yeah.
been so long, I've forgotten it exists.
What exists?
You get it yet, Midge? You get it yet?
I don't know what you mean.
Mog. About 2 hours into your waiting, you notice movement above you. Not specifically above you, but in the higher planes on the defensive battle. The creatures shift a bit, and you notice a humanoid walking. They seem to be making way for them. Can't tell much about them in terms of details because they are still a couple stories above you, and you are trying to keep hidden. And I'm using your previous stealth roll for this time, so 18.
I've got Eldritch
Do you see
Sight
it?
on.
You don't see any magic on them specifically. You see an individual, maybe mid 6 foot region, tall, little thin, odd dress in terms of clothing, not wearing a dress.
Can I tell the race?
Not from where you're at, no. It's a bit too far for that. Clothing is of a black and white cut, or a black and white color. Seem to be some sort of long, tall boots, an odd pipe-like hat, like a tall, round hat that comes up above them with a small visor in front, with a fluffy feather or pump of some sort on the tip of the top of the front of the hat. Just walking. You can see a sword by their side that they are carrying, that is just kind of hanging, and one arm kind of like behind the swell of their back, and they're just kind of walking. No particular reason, it looks like. They're not paying attention in many ways to anything. They're just kind of walking. You see them for a bit as they kind of round. The dragons make way and then go back to what they were doing as they walk out of your line of sight.
So the dragons haven't taken off yet.
You don't
Not the
see
2 hour
them in the 2 hour mark. About an hour later. About an hour later. You hear movement from the same area. Feet against stone. Oddly enough, by the way, both when you heard that one walking, that individual walking, and now, footfalls much sharper than you'd expect. Almost as if their boots or what they're wearing have some sort of metal on their heels of some sort, so it clacks
tap
against the
shoes.
stone. Kind of, yeah, or like a, have you ever seen like old military boots?
Yeah.
Like the Germans used to have, instead of like soles on their boots, they'd have like metal ring or metal dimples that they would
Like the
hammer into the
stirruped?
soles. Kind of, yeah, like either stirruped or some sort of metal reinforcement on the heels, because it's when they're football, you're like as they're like walking down. Then you hear a lot more of those, like almost like a cacophony above you, and like not rushed, just moving about around a lot. And then you hear the beats of wings, large and like lofting sounds, and you kind of hook your head out a little bit more, and you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 flying. Riders on them. all of them dressed almost exactly the same. The same clothing and hat and sword by their sides. Not towards you. Looks to be going west. West-northwest.
So away from where we came from, away from our wagons and the mercs.
Yeah, they seem to go towards the, you can see like the lip of the ravine. They seem to go towards that,
Okay.
up, and then over. Like 8 in a formation. Definitely formation. They're like 2 V's flying together. They just start flying out.
Mog lets out a very quiet, long breath.
So that's what you see during your vigilance during the 4 hours. And that happened,
Okay.
yeah. Still light, still much more light than what you have right now when they left. The ones that you saw. That's what you saw. What would you all like to do? If you
Well, Mog is going to walk back to the group as sort of Rivallon is rousing himself from the meditation, and she's going to say 8.
Same to you. This is a new greeting.
There are 8 dragons.
And where are they now?
They left. They travelled northwest. West-northwest.
Yeah, it'd be west-northwest. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
That's
They left about an hour ago.
well, do we recall what time it was yesterday when we first scouted?
It's on the same day when you scouted.
Oh.
You didn't take a day. No, they came in around like 2 hours before noon when Rivallon
Okay.
saw the 4 come in. And then
It was
they were
24,
leaving.
not all 8. Okay. Well, I think this is our best opportunity to try and find Liban.
Agreed.
All right, we need to find the stairs then. Let's move further into the
All right.
structure, see what we can find.
Yes.
I will cast sending and let Elandra know that the dragons have left.
Okay. You mean
But to
Alfred?
say where he is. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy.
That
yeah.
guy. The guy with the
I
long
will
hair.
recast Pass
That was
Without a
something.
Trace.
Okay. Cast it.
Thank you.
So
Appreciate it.
the noticeable sounds of your footsteps echoing in the halls immediately go much quieter.
Instead of it's
Yeah. Also, as a reply to your, like, this is what's going on, we're still going good, just hold your position. Basically, roger that, we're holding position, we're still in the same spot. And that's about it. Just short and sweet.
And then she's going to cast sending and let her mom know she's standing in a temple of Palor and a temple of Bahamut. And it's-
Bahamut.
Yeah. Get those
Standing in a
mixed
table
up.
of
Not the
Palor
first
is the
time it's happened.
best thing ever.
I hate it.
Freudian slip right there.
I hate it so much. I hate it. Anyway, yeah, she's in a temple of Bahamut out in the deserts. It's awe-inspiring, and she will ask her to tell her father the same because they're both followers as well.
Okay. She replies,
As
it's
we
very
go,
amazing, she's never been in them, and she will definitely tell your father when he gets home, please call me.
Please call her.
Please
My
call
roaming charges, Mom. I'm sorry.
So, what were you going to say, Mark?
as we go through, because obviously the dragons was the most important bit, but I'm going to describe the clothes of the riders as much as I can, and see if anyone sort of recognizes the dress from sort of when they were working, or sort of people they might have seen around. Mog knows she's never seen anyone like that, but it might be a southern thing rather than a northern thing.
Did I roll a history check?
Sure, if you'd like to.
Yay, let's do history.
I'm just having Seshka
Hey,
because she
finally.
has more.
Good roll.
She has more experience with like other cultures coming in. 'Cause she used to be a tradeswoman.
Trades women.
Woodman. Yeah, none of that rings a bell. It's very odd. She can,
It's a pretty odd getup. Doesn't ring any bells. It would have stood out if I did.
but you
They
enter
were
into the
unusual.
hallways of the dormitories.
Dun,
The musty smell that greets you as you go further into the halls reminds you less of an abandoned building and more of a grave or tomb.
Been in one of those recently.
Yes, you have. The
Semi-
How
twisting
far away from the
hallways-
tower?
Like linearly, not that far. Like, it may like less than a football field. Like if you were to like be looking at
So-
it, but it's
Much
It's a
less than a
building.
mile.
yeah, much less than a mile.
You're gonna do your.
I mean, this whole complex is maybe from end to end a mile, like the whole complex from end to end, and you're mostly in the center of it. So yeah,
Should I do my primal senses thing again?
That seems like a decent idea, actually. Tell us if all the dragons are
Or
left.
maybe wait until we're near the top and about to cross the bridge and see if they're coming back.
Good idea.
okay. In the twisting hallways of the dormitories,
It
You
doesn't tell you
find-
where though.
No,
No, it
but
doesn't
it
tell
just
you
tells
where.
us if we've got undead and things like that. in the
Within a
vicinity.
mile. So if they're within a mile,
They're in the base.
Yeah.
The dragons have gone.
That we. Yeah.
an hour ago.
We want to make sure there's no more left.
Yeah.
up to you how you guys want to go about doing it.
Wait
as
until we
you're
get to the
walking.
bridge.
Yeah, makes
Okay.
sense.
In the twisting hallways of the dormitories, you find more signs of battle. Every room made into a strong point, every intersection an obstacle. It's easy to see where ambushes and smaller skirmishes were undertaken after the fall of the church's entrance area. At these sites, the bodies lay where they were slain. Dragonborn bodies not in armor can be found here and there. Seemingly monks that called this place home, along with the warrior that also called it home. Continue walking forward, passing by these. It's like not a lot of them have windows or anything. It's just a lot of like cut-in like rooms that people would stay in. Like they're deeper inside of the stone, keeping it a little cooler. You can see places where there was like fire sconches and places to put torches, etc. Keep it lit, but they're all obviously out at this point, so it's very dark.
I'm
You
at the
come
front using
across-
my dark sight,
I'm with you with my
Okay.
dark sight.
and you have your hand on my shoulder.
Oh, so doing like a doing like a,
I'm finding
a
the route.
minor.
But at the same time, my armor would make it hard for them to see me.
Very true.
It's
So
true.
it
Yeah.
would be a case of hand on my shoulder, walk where I walk.
You continue forward. You're kind of winding your way through the hallways. You come across an intersection of two hallways, a bit larger than others. In the center, you see a figure. At first, you think it possibly a person, but the unmoving nature of it quickly denotes it as a statue. Hold on a second. A statue stands in the center of a dragonborn of some import, armored and sword held aloft. On its pedestal, slightly raised, is something written in Draconic.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I can read Draconic.
I
Same.
can read that as well.
So can
No.
the Dragonborn.
Yeah.
So can Mog. Mog can read everything.
Oh, so can Mog.
Ostini is just
yeah.
like,
I can read
"Some
everything."
shit out of luck.
Yeah, Mog, you can read everything.
Yeah, I can.
Ostini is just
Uh,
like, I guess I'm shit out of luck.
In Draconic, written on the pedestal, you see what seems to be either some sort of poetry or maybe just a saying, but it reads, "Glory to the faithful, respect to the lawful, pity to the forgotten, shame to the misguided, death to the evil."
Could you repeat that but slower or print it out?
Glory to the faithful, respect to the lawful, pity to the forgotten, shame to the misguided, death to the evil. It seems to be made of a smooth brown stone that looks to be foreign to the local stone that you've seen, and its eyes seem to be made of rubies.
I don't touch it.
Okay. Do you move past it, or are you just going to all leave it?
All right. So
Magic eyes, Mog.
Yeah, magic eyes are always on. Just assume they're on.
Okay.
You don't see anything.
What was this? Respect to the lawful.
Yeah, respectful, lawful.
See, Sesh, Isaac, Rivallon.
Yeah.
That might be Mog. That's why I'm worried.
But that could be me.
No, because technically you're chaotic good, and I'm not.
To point out, I made this stuff, made this place
I know, but
almost
it
a
works
year
for
ago.
us.
Okay. No, I like your thinking like that, though. It's good.
We're
It's good.
reading things into things.
That's good. No, it's good. Do you just move on past it?
No,
leaving
I'm
this
looking around
statue.
in Eldritch Sight because this is a lovely statue with some poetry. There's usually something magic.
You don't see anything. It's not emitting any magic. No,
Boo.
that you can see.
I do say a prayer to the platinum dragon when I see this. You know.
What kind of room are we in then? If is it just an antechamber with a statue?
It's a cross section of two hallways that, like a T section, and it's been expanded, and this statue sits in the center of it. You know, there's a couple of bodies here and there, as there are in a couple of almost everywhere that you find. These ones seem to be of the Crusaders here and there, like cut open and or dead in their tracks, an arrow in one of them, their helmets kind of against the wall, left where they were slain. But if you were done here, you kind of suss out where to go at that point. It's pretty like you know where you have to go to get to the bridge. So if you're kind of going that way, it's easy to keep track of it. It's like you're experienced dungeon delvers at this point, so you're like keeping track of how many lefts you take and how many rights you take.
Yeah.
Moving that along. But everybody good? Everybody moving along then?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Continuing formation.
Okay. Formation. Give me the order of what the hell is that?
Oh, okay. Well, what's our running order?
Well, I'm
Sort
up
of.
front.
Also, for Mog's question, shame to the misguided.
Thank you.
It'd probably be like
Okay.
Justinia, Sesh.
Well, it's, you said it was Rivallon. is
Rivallon,
up front,
like
you
in
see
the
Dark
Sesh.
Vision.
Yeah.
So there's Rivallon, Mog,
Justinia, Sesh, Isaac.
Isaac. Yeah.
So Rivallon, Mog, Ustenia, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sesh, Isaac.
Okay.
Me, because I'm picking the
Sesh.
route, because I can see Mog, because she's looking out for anything that's magical.
Yeah.
And then the two big guns. And Mr. Squishy at the back.
Mr. Squishy.
He's not very
at the
squishy.
back.
I'm not the squishiest anymore.
No, to be fair, I'm the squishiest.
Yep.
I'm Mrs. Squishy.
Okay.
Can't even heal myself either.
By the way, your arcane sight thing, is that a pact boon? Or
No,
is that
it's an invocation.
invocation? Okay. Just want to double check because I don't know if you can have those on like all the time.
You can use detect magic at will without expending a spell slot.
Oh. Fair enough.
At will makes me think I can switch it on and off again, like a light switch.
Just like when you're in the middle of a rave, just switching on magic on and off again. Just
Yeah.
like-
Okay, it's within 30 feet of you. Okay. Okay, so I just wanted to double check. So it is blocked by things like stone.
It's detect
and-
magic. It's just
Yeah, it's
you can
just
switch
detect
it on
magic.
and
Yeah.
off.
Okay, I'm just double checking. I thought it was a specific thing. I just want to say that. Okay.
No, it's not that
So-
fancy.
Yeah, as well. So you continue on forward, deeper and deeper into the dormitories.
Looking for the stairs.
Looking for the stairs.
It's like moving into
Gee.
college for the first time. Like, where the fuck is my room?
Just kind of crisscrossing some of these hallways. Crisscrossing some of these hallways. I'm gonna need Mog and Rivallon make a investigation check
Investigation.
or a perception check. Perception check. both of you.
Perception check.
Mog advantage.
More advantage.
Yes, because you have arcane sight.
15.
Oh,
21.
Okay.
I'm glad I
21.
dropped to 6.
Yeah.
All right. You move forward. To the right of you, along the hallway, cut out where a room would normally be, seems to be foregoing a room, and on this side another statue of another dragonborn warrior. Less regal this time, less directive, more just like it is something being placed here. You move forward and forward, going past it. And when Mog gets close, within 30 feet, you see a faint magical aura emanating from the mouth of the Dragonborn warrior. That is pointing kind of across the hallway, as if intersecting the hallway. That is what you see.
I stop the group and I say, I think there's might be some sort of amulet or something in the mouth of that statue.
Did you say it's going across the hallway?
The mouth is like it's like looking across the hallway. Like
Okay, and
like
it's
it's
like she's seeing
this.
like a beam of magic across the hallway.
No, she's seeing magic like from the mouth, just
the mouth.
because she sees faint magical auras of things that emit magic. She's just the mouth.
my guess
And it's
is a
just like,
trap, if I'm perfectly
Yeah.
honest.
I was thinking that.
It could. We may want to duck.
Good for you.
You. might
How?
as well.
Yeah.
What would you like to
Does
do?
anyone have any dispel magic?
I think I do.
I don't. I've only got cure curses.
I have that too.
Wait, so does it? Wait, Eldritch Sight, does that give you detect magic like proper? Can you?
Yeah.
Yes, it just means she
So-
can use it without using a spell slot.
So can she obtain
Detect-
what type of magic it is?
Can I do an arcane check?
Well,
Isn't that?
detect magic would like the thing about detect magic is it does tell you if I'm just gonna reread it. I had it up
Yeah.
already, but I put it away. Detect magic.
The spell
You
magic
need
is
to-
essentially counter spell,
yeah.
just
No, no, it's not. No, it's not at all.
you
Dispel
any
magic.
creature,
you mean.
object, or magical effect within range. Any spell third or lower on the target ends for each spell.
That's
fourth or
dispel.
higher.
We're talking
That's
detect.
we're talking
Yeah.
about detect.
Yeah, yeah. No, I was saying dispel magic and counter spell are essentially the same thing, just once for objects.
Oh,
You said
okay.
yeah, no, but you said detect magic.
I'm pretty sure I didn't, but okay.
Oh,
Ah, doesn't matter. Just semantics.
And you learn its
Um,
school of magic, if any.
yeah.
You do not detect it as it does not have a specific school of magic that you can see. It's a faint magical aura, and you can only barely see it as well because it is looks like the statue itself is blocking most of the sight. You're only getting an emanate from like the front of the mouth. You just saw it at an angle.
I
Do we
approach the
see anything
statue.
that looks like a pressure plate?
I approach the statue.
You approach the statue.
Yep.
Okay.
I have the symbol in hand.
All right. So, Sesh, you approach the statue as you walk forward. Okay. I'm going to need you to just check here. All right. So, Sesh, and let's just see here. I'm just gonna roll to see. Nope. Nope. It's 2 ones in a row. So, so Rivallon. I'm gonna need Sesh, Rivallon, and Mog. The first 3 of the pack. I need you all to make dexterity saving throws.
Is this a spell?
It's not a spell that
Is
is
it a
being
trap?
cast. It is something that is being triggered.
Okay, no.
So I cast Dispel Magic then, because it's an object.
Okay, you cast Dispel Magic.
Oh,
So
that'd be
anything
done as a
below
reaction.
level 3 is just ended.
Can that be done as a reaction?
It's an action.
It's an
And it's not a
action.
not
Then
a
you
reaction.
cannot do it. It has to be a reaction for you to
Ooh.
interrupt somebody else. So,
F.
okay, so Rivallon, Mog, and Sesh. Yes, go ahead.
I
Ty.
had a question.
Yes.
Is this a trap or a spell or some other thing for danger sense?
It is a trap, but you are not triggering it. You are.
It
in
doesn't matter
midpoint.
if I'm triggering it or not. It's just
You-
defined.
You are in the
saving
midpoint, and
dexterity.
you don't have not dark vision.
Right. Okay. So I can't see it.
You can't. Yeah, that's the problem. That's why I was trying to get the order, because you being in midpoint means if you're doing like 5 feet between everybody, you only have actual sight. I think to the back of Rivallon or just ahead of them.
Okay.
So it's danger sense. I think it says within line of sight. If it doesn't, let me know, because I'm going off my memory here.
It explicitly says anything that I can see, any
Yeah.
trap that I can
That's
see.
yeah. Because I was fairly certain that was the case, but yeah, if you know,
15.
you don't need to though. It was only the first 3 of the pack.
Oh,
which
I thought you were saying everyone.
No,
man,
just the
you're
first
fine.
3. Just the first 3. So each one of you see the center of the mouth glow, and then almost white hot fire emits in a 20-foot cone that catches you all as it is slightly angled into the hallway.
Alright.
You all will be taking. Let's see here. I've got it written down.
Full damage.
That's-
we suck.
Yeah, it's full damage. It's also not great because, yeah, this is meant to protect their sanctums. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Did I grab the right one? Did I grab the right dice? That's a D10. Okay, I'm gonna throw this out there. I didn't mean a D10. This is disregard this. I picked up the wrong dice.
Oh,
Thank goodness.
I'd still have 20 something HP left. Maybe.
I don't.
We're trying to go
Okay.
into a live and fight.
I have 6.
Here's the extra thing. I picked up the wrong one. It's supposed to be D8s.
I was like,
that makes
oh,
it
it's actually
so
supposed to be
much
better.
D12s,
Oh, yes,
and I'm
that's
like,
so
oh,
much better.
okay.
Hey, that's statistically that's so much better.
So much better. That could be upwards of 100 damage if it was D10s.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
max. Oh,
Oh, yeah,
actually,
that's
it's
so
the
much
exact-
better.
Alright.
To be
There's
fair,
more
that
dice
was
then.
to be. No, it isn't. That should be 1, 2,
That's
3,
too many
4,
die.
5, 6, 7,
Yeah,
8,
that's not
9,
the same
10,
amount.
11. Okay, disregard one of the 7s. So I'll just take I'll take one
That
of the
would be
highest off
40.
45.
there. 45. Yeah.
45.
You each take 45 fire damage as the flamethrower effect emits.
Great.
Just straight out of this what was probably a red dragon statue at some point, but the paint is worn off. Just across as you trigger a trap with Sesh triggers the trap and the cone effect, hitting the first 2 in the party. It just kind of washes over.
Thanks,
And then
Sash.
Then I cast Spell Magic.
Spell magic, and you see that. Just kind of like Mog sees. Well, is Mog still conscious?
Yeah, just.
Okay.
To be
You
fair,
see
she's
the.
half orc, so she's got her.
Yeah, you
Oh
come
yeah,
back.
she'd be able
You
to
see
come
the.
back anyway.
You see the light fade, and it is now gone.
I need to do something.
Oh.
So 47 damage.
Is everybody okay?
No.
It's like singed bits coming off of people.
Hang on 1 second. I need to find a map that has everybody on it so I can heal people.
Can't you just do the combat tracker?
Oh, I don't know.
If
Can
it's
I?
still got us on, then yes.
Yeah, it
Because
does.
you'll be able to just control click them.
Oh, hold on 1 second though. I just gotta go ahead and I'm gonna be I'll give you guys I can't give you a long rest now. I think we already did that at one point, so you're all you can do that.
Oh, I
That's fine.
can. Okay, so Rivallon,
I'm getting rid of all of the bandits and stuff.
myself, and better.
So what's that? 37.
37.
You-
So-
it
Yep,
just-
and
it's
it's
just
it's
go up.
automatically been
Beautiful.
applied.
Oh
Yeah.
That'll do.
Yeah, so you both only have 8 damage now.
And
yeah. Yay.
where is it? There it is. There.
That much.
Thanks.
Surprised it took that much. It was almost the exact same number, even though I used d8s instead of
It was
10s.
10 less damage, I think, exactly.
Yeah, that's not great. Okay, so yeah, you triggered that, but then it has
Hey,
been dispelled.
it's better than 80 damage, so.
It's true.
Oh
But
no! Oh shit! They all took over half. They need to
Yeah.
roll on the critical damage
Why
table.
did you remind him?
Oh yeah, that's true. Or did you take
Well
over? Yeah,
done,
you did
man.
take over half.
I took over half, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I
we all
took
did.
45 of my 76.
1 second, let me check the tables.
I'm sorry, guys.
I definitely took
Damage.
over half, and I think I'm the person with the most HP in this objective.
Yes,
right
yes, you are.
It's. Sorry.
Now. Hey, don't worry, I can just
Were
use
you the
more
nerdy
healing
kid
spells.
at school who went, please sir, he's doing something wrong?
No, it's
Honestly,
more the
I
fact.
entirely forgot that existed. To be quite
Sir,
fair.
didn't you
Like-
say we were going to have a test today?
Oh no, I never did homework, so fuck that. No,
Oh,
it's
oh,
more,
it's system
more the
shock,
fact in
that's
this
why I
case.
thought it was
Oh yeah,
the
system shock.
shock.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's more the fact of like being fair around the table.
Bite me.
It's
Okay, so first one up, Sesh. I'm just gonna roll on this and see what it outputs. Okay, can't take reactions and has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the end of its next turn, so you're fine.
Cool. Got some in my eyes and like, ow, stings.
Stunned. That was for Rivallon. So just kind of this is the hate
Bit of a
the
system shock.
damage.
Bit of
Yeah, system.
shock, quite
The
a bit.
system shock.
Yeah.
Can't take reactions until your next.
Fine.
So yeah,
So we're
you're
good.
you're all fine. Yeah, the worst thing is if I rolled a 1, then you just drop to 0 HP and start taking death saves. Or if I rolled a 2 or a 3, then you drop to 0 and you're stable.
That'd be the worst if it applied to me, because I don't think anybody has healing spells.
No.
Oh no, Isaac does, yeah.
Yeah,
How
many of
you've
them
got
know as well?
you've got two white mages.
No, you've got a white mage, and then you've got like a black-white cross.
yeah, exactly that. That's exactly
But
what
yeah,
Isaac.
you
I'm just
triggered the
black.
trap. The trap seems to be
And
disabled.
we've got a green mage.
Yeah, it seems to be disabled from what you can tell. Also, it doesn't seem like the trigger has reset. Looks like it was maybe like a one and done, kind of.
Oh. So nobody ever came this far, is what I'm getting at.
Possibly, or it was set in a retreat.
Possible.
And it was a single like 6-inch by 6-inch tile to trigger it that you stepped in. I rolled for it. It wasn't. By
That
the way,
wasn't lucky.
I haven't rolled above a 3 today in physical dice. By the way,
You should probably
putting it out
stop
there.
using those dice.
I have 6 d20s and none of them have rolled above a 3. So
Wow.
You need
Great.
a dice jail. You need a
I've
dice.
rolled.
jail,
By the
like,
way, not
now.
only d20s, my d6s. I rolled 4 1s with the d6.
Why couldn't you have rolled the
I
damage
mean,
for the
we're
fire
not
thing
rolling
IRL?
much better.
No, it's been a bad day.
Because who has 10 d8s?
Roach.
I don't.
It was a bad trap. So what do you do after you take a minute? heal up, but that was
something.
something. It doesn't seem
That
like the
was a
spells
thing.
come back. It is now an empty statue.
We've got to keep moving.
Agreed.
But
Agreed.
Well, that reminds me.
Mog, switch with me. I'll keep an eye out for traps.
So Mog's going to the back, Isaac's going to the front, or second front.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Where's the pencil? Okay. Just so you know, Mog, because of the way because of like the distance that's being maintained between you all, I'm gonna say like it's arm length. You're keeping like an arm's length distance between everybody. That would mean you can detect magic only for 30 feet.
Yeah.
Because that's what the spell does. So you can see just in front of Rivallon.
Yeah.
Just in front, by about 5 feet in front of him.
So
I'm gonna
if
say, just in
I
front of
see
him.
something, I need to be quick.
Further. You
I'm
can't
sorry,
see, you can actually see further because you have 60 feet dark vision, but only 30.
Yeah, you have 60 feet dark vision, but the magic will
But
only
same,
come up
yeah.
within half. Yeah, will only come up there. So that's how that works in there. Just for reference. For future
I'm
reference.
going to switch with Sesh then, if she's okay with that, just so I can get 10 feet ahead with the magical
Yeah,
sight.
that makes
Sure.
sense.
Okay. I will.
Have the person with the highest perception in the rear. Why not? Highest passive.
Yeah,
vision.
I think I got the highest investigation.
Don't
though.
you have dark vision or do Dragonborn not have
Nope.
dark vision? Oh,
They don't have
Dragonborn.
dark
Yeah,
vision.
they're one of the only ones that don't.
Dragonborn and
than
humans. That's it.
Dragonborn and humans? They're the only two.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Sesha has two
So-
major weaknesses: her dexterity and the fact she can't see in the dark.
But it actually is very, very soon after you encounter that trap, you find the stairs.
Yay!
Doesn't take, and you go up a couple of flights, because you guesstimate the floor the bridge was on, which was about the third floor. So you go up to the third floor instead of going second. It kind of like it's like a stairwell.
Yeah.
There's probably another one on the other side of the building as well. So, okay, AFK. Tari put AFL in the chat. I didn't know what that meant for a second. I thought that was a different acronym I didn't know about.
I thought it
Yeah.
was gonna be like, oh, was that?
I looked at the keyboard and went,
I-
oh, he means K.
AFL to me though went in my head. ASL, like
I
are we
don't
on
know.
a Beagle or something now?
I don't know. But you get to the upper floors of the dormitories. The upper floors seem to have their own stories to tell. That of desperation and of savagery. The defenders lay more numerous here, but so do the crusaders. Signs of carnage. The burned bodies of crusaders against a wall, the arrow-riddled corpse of a dragonborn fighter, with several bodies around them, their long swords still clutched in their clawed hands. So you exit this stairwell that's pretty much front and center. Keep going forward. Make a perception check. Isaac and Rivallon. Ustenia, you don't have dark vision, so
Shit out of luck. Essentially.
I'm sorry, buddy. He's also not here.
Yeah.
13.
15.
15? Okay. Isaac. You stop Rivallon as you see, literally right above him, in a little hollowed out upper bit of the ceiling, what looks to be a well, you see a giant stone slab that is being held in place by a couple of strong-looking wooden crossbeams connected to a tripwire about 2 inches in front of his mid-stride leg or foot. As you stop him and pull back slightly.
Okay, can I use my thieves' tools to disable the trap?
Yes, give me a I'm gonna say dexterity.
Tell everyone to get down, get further back.
Yeah. Back, back.
Would it be a sleight of hand?
No, I'm gonna say dexterity because you're basically trying to clip a tripwire essentially, and you're trying to make sure you don't trigger the tripwire. Most applicable there. If you want to use sleight of hand, I'll let you do that as well.
It's the
Actually,
same
that does make sense. So yeah, it's up to you. It's up to you how you want to class it.
It's the same modifier for me actually right now.
Yeah.
So it's a 19.
Nice.
Deftly kind of, and you just see the tension in the wire go.
Oh, actually, it'd be 9. It would be more than that. It'll be, yeah, because it's thieves' tools.
So you would get your proficiency. With that.
Proficiency, yeah.
Well, DC was only 10, so you still
Okay,
made
cool.
it. so you're fine, buddy.
I'm being sure after that last thing. Okay.
Yeah, but you clip it, and the tension of the wire goes, and you even see the wire that seems to have kept tension after all this time because there's no moisture here, so it does not slacken. Even go from the part that's attached to the log, and it just kind of waves there slightly in the slight cross breeze that exists in the hull. But it does look to be disarmed because those are holding.
Yeah.
At least for right now. If there's a good shake to the building, that might not, but it does look like they're holding, so.
Okay. Right, we can proceed.
Leading on.
Continue on forward.
Dun, 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 dun,
Does it look
dun,
like we
dun.
lost Mikey? By the way?
Yes.
Not
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think we have. That could be just internet or power or something, but hopefully
Yeah,
he
wait,
comes
he's
back.
gone off
No,
the
his new
computer.
computer's just blown up.
No, don't say that.
Graphics card just exploded.
Yeah.
No, it could be a restart. He said he was denying a restart for a while, so he could have just completely forgotten. It could have just auto restarted. If it is that, he'll be back very soon because he does have an SSD now, and
Oh.
he said he restarts in a couple half a minute. He can get it up and running.
Okay,
so.
it's fixed itself now.
Ah, there we go. Did your computer go off, or did you?
No, his graphics card
Did you-
exploded. We told you.
We cannot see his face, so it must be his camera.
I think
No,
I
it's not
think
graphics
it's.
card.
No, it was just my internet.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So, you go past.
It was literally
the
just my internet being a piece of shit because
He's just like cuts
Yeah.
off.
You go past the falling block. The desperation of the defenders seems to become more and more apparent the closer you get to the tower walkway. Some hallways remain totally blocked off. Some show signs of crusaders breaking through and open path. Meaning you're having to, like, you go down a hallway and you see, like, a barricade still existing. So, do you want to, like, break down barricades you find, or are you just gonna kind of go back, try and find an alternate path, like, or how are you going through this? Because it looks like
If
this
there's-
was like a defensive line that they were holding as they go closer and
If
closer.
there's
to the
people still
walkway.
in the building, we don't want to alert them, giving them time to
No.
call back the Dragon Riders. So
No.
let's not dismantle anything. As
Make
much.
as little noise as possible.
So you're going around. By the way, it's been about a half hour since you passed without a trace as you're going through. Just so you know, I'm keeping that in mind. But you keep going in and out, in and out. I need Isaac and Rivallon to make another perception check.
17.
Okay.
18.
Okay. Midge. Give me a number from 1 and 10.
6.
Rival, 1 and
Yeah.
10. Give me one from 1 and 10.
Between 1 and 10.
can that include Midge's choice?
No.
Right.
Excluding
5.
6.
5? Okay. Rivallon.
Mm-hmm.
You step forward, leading the party. Neither of you notice as Rivallon passes through an invisible, almost laser-like tripwire that is set up. A bolt of energy streaks down from along a hallway, a crack in a door, almost maybe 20 feet in front of you.
Wait, if it was
A
invisible,
mag-
would it have?
No, invisible isn't just the no, not that. No, it's
Okay.
invisible as in flavor text.
Razor thin wire.
Well, not wire. The enchantment of the broken magic missile wand triggers as a flesh and blood
Enchantment?
living thing.
Enchantment.
You don't see.
I can see 10 feet.
In front of me.
Yeah, this is in front of him. This is 30 feet down a hall or 20 feet
No,
down a
but
hallway.
she would have seen the tripwire, wouldn't she?
There is no tripwire. It was a flavor text. There is an enchantment on a magic wand that is pointed down a hallway behind a door. And it was trying to when you got within 30 feet of it, it triggers a fire. It triggers a magic missile blast. That's what it is. Just lift the veil on the flavor text and just go. Just go.
You shouldn't have
We're
said
trying to
tripwire.
defend ourselves.
I meant like those laser beams that you cross in front of or something like that, essentially. But it doesn't matter. But it shoots down the hallway, striking Rivallon.
Of course it does.
It was between you. It was,
damage.
it was between you and Isaac at that point. You take 9 force damage from a full magic missile blast that
Yay.
strikes you right in the chest as it kind of goes down. You just like you all hear it like a and just kind of goes down and like just solid hits.
I'm having to rejoin the game. Give me a minute.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
But yeah, I'll just patch him up. 1d6 plus like 13. He's fine again.
Okay, thanks.
Just remember to knock out your
It's not a spell. It's the healer thing. It's an action to use
okay.
it.
Take a minute to heal. When
It's
you
an
go and check, you see a half-broken magic wand sits pointed down a passage, rested against a chair, so that it points straight. It looks as if
Effective.
it looks like if that last blast used up most of its energy, and it now sits slightly charred and broken, as if it was a last-ditch effort to try and slow down the attackers. Or one of the last-ditch efforts.
This place is really sad. That's Red, not Mog.
Yeah.
I mean, Mark could equally say that, to be fair.
But you continue onward at that point. Ever forward. You continue to see bodies. And you come across the walkway to the tower.
Oh, thank God
Just-
for that.
Don't worry, there were a lot of traps you could have triggered. This is not a great place to go explore.
No, I wonder why.
No. Just outside of the entrance to the tower walkway, you see a mass of bodies before a hastily built wall. Crusader corpses show signs of being burned. Some look to have been blasted apart. Others look to have died mid-sprint, their bodies charred with a telltale spider web pattern of electrocution. A true last stand sits in front of you. For how long they held their position is not apparent, but it is apparent the defenders spent everything they had to hold it. Do you cross? Or how are you?
We check the
can we check-
frigging barricades.
Okay. Give me a perception check. I'll let everybody do it because you're all checking on this.
21.
Says she's not
see-
going to do it because she's praying for the souls of the defenders.
14.
All right.
So yeah.
15.
Okay.
of you-
Ustenia, Rivallon, and Mog. You see 2 things that are still set up underneath a wooden box that looks to have at one point maybe contained food of some sort. You see a crude magical or crude trap, like a mini scorpion. You know, like a crossbow, but like a siege
Yeah.
weapon crossbow, basically a like large crossbow.
Anyone
in
who's
it,
played Mordhau.
Yeah, in it a spear that
Shit.
that Mog
you
can
die.
tell is enchanted with ice magic.
Oh,
that,
Oh.
that was ready to trip. That was ready to trip. That was ready to trigger if somebody crossed a small tripwire, a razor thin, or not razor thin, a hair thin tripwire that had been set up in a firing arc. In fact, it's very ingenious. It would turn slightly before it fired to where the tripwire was being pulled
nice.
as it is set up. So it would have tracked within about a 5-degree arc.
I tell
Isaac.
and
Well,
I
that's
say,
what that's what Rivallon finds, because he found that one because he got the DC for that one.
yeah.
Everyone else finds very, very quickly above your heads is a large 5-foot scythe that is yeah, that was
Only the
ready to
penitent
take.
man may pass.
Yeah. In fact, you notice it specifically because the body of a crusader is impaled in its exit, like the hole against it.
Nice.
And it's two-headed, so it looks like it goes up and then it comes back down and it goes. It just kind of does that.
And it
Yeah.
chops everyone to pieces.
And it's in like position A
challenge.
with the body still on it on the B side. And it would have come back down.
So he didn't even get the
You
A
ready to
side.
face
He
the
only
way
got
of
the
the
B
light.
side.
Brutal.
Yeah. But you see, yeah, this was ready. But you can definitely avoid this now that you've seen it.
Can I
It would-
disarm the cross the
I
scorpion?
was gonna say,
You may try, yes.
Oh
Yes,
God!
okay.
You may try.
Try.
Well, yeah, I will
Everyone
make sure
stand out
everyone's
the
out
way.
of the firing arc.
Yeah, yes, you get
Please.
everybody out of the firing arc.
And I want to try and go at it from the side. So even if it does trigger, I'm not.
It's not going to hit you.
Yeah, exactly that.
Okay,
Doesn't
I will
matter if
let
it
you
goes
do that,
flying
but
off.
because of the awkward angle you're having to work at it, it is going to increase the DC. Because you're basically the way that the tripwire is set up, you would have to be in like to get a good angle
Yeah.
on it. You'd have to be in front of it. So I'm just saying it's not it's meant to not be tampered with. Is kind of the
Yeah,
the
of
thing.
course, yeah.
So go ahead. How do you want to disarm it?
Just
So
take
you
the
want me to
spear out of
describe
it.
Well, yeah, I was
Yeah,
tempted to just
yes,
unload-
describe it to me, and then make the check based on.
Oh,
that.
I
wanna
was
know.
gonna just cross the tripwire and go to the scorpion and unload it.
Now you would have to move the box. Like I said, it's
Which
in
would
like a
set it
crate
off.
that is an open box in the
Right,
front.
okay.
Yeah.
It's the
So that's
tripwire.
why I'm saying
You
if you
have to
wanted to,
cut
if you
the-
want to just you'd have to do the tripwire, and because of the angle, if you don't get in its line of sight, you're being awkward, kind of like going around the box and trying to work at it so that it doesn't hit you. That's what you get what I'm saying? Like in terms
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
yeah. So
Okay, so I want to lay down next to the wire.
okay, so you're like this, just kind of
Car mechanic.
working on.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Give me a give me a sleight of hand check, or yeah, sleight of hand check
Plus
on
my
there.
12.
3. It's 15.
15. Okay. So all of you see this. Isaac.
Oh shit.
Isaac's like underneath, kind of like slowly. Like the thing is you can barely see how it connects from your angle because you're
Yeah.
trying to stay out of line of sight. So you're kind of like your hands are above and you're kind of grabbing at it. You feel okay. That's where it goes in at. Okay, let's try and get the trick. And you accidentally pull it slightly too much, and you hear, and this fucking thing again. There is no moisture, so the tension is exactly how much it was originally. So this thing shoots. Probably would have gone through somebody if they were in front of it. Just a spear, a full-size spear being fired by a crossbow, essentially, going straight across an empty 20-foot open space. It impacts against the wall. You hear like a crack, snap, and it's not broken. You see a maybe 6-foot chunk of clear ice has been manifest as a crack, like against the wall, and it just slowly slides down the wall until it rests on the
The
ground.
spear still intact.
Oh God, no.
See, I was trying to unload it, and then I was going to give it to Ustinia as a javelin, because can you imagine Ustinia with an ice javelin? That'd be so cool.
No, it was definitely not meant to be reusable. It was enchanted with ice magic, and when it impacted, it triggered.
That's why I tried to disarm, but hey,
Yeah.
let's go.
No,
Let's
it was a difficult thing to disarm, and you didn't get that good of a roll. It was
No,
probably
no,
one of the hardest ones here to do that, to be honest. But you were
All I
able
can
to
say is
definitely.
Thank goodness Rivallon spotted it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you beat that DC by one. By
Someone just
one.
turns to ice. Just like, oh,
By
fuck.
one.
Yeah. By one. For reference, that was 7d10 cold damage.
Well, the good thing is, right, if it had hit me, I would have been resistant to it.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, I was at that point. I was gonna roll a dice. I was gonna roll a d8, or I was gonna roll a d6 and see who got
Who would
hit
hit,
by
yeah.
it at that point.
Yeah,
by
I mean,
it,
Rivallon,
but
and you'd be dead.
Mob would be dead too.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
but it's always,
you
Rivallon's going hit by
yeah
everything.
this
so far.
place you get the sense they did not want the Pelorian Crusaders to continue.
Really?
At this point.
The irony of the Pope is the Palorian member of the party going and disarming everything as well. That's
The
kind
true
of
irony
irony
isn't
is
lost
the
on me.
Pelorian and
It's-
the cleric working together.
Right. No, that's just showing how times have changed and things have progressed. It's
Have
That
they?
you lost.
tactical withdrawals are
It's,
not
it's
allowed.
like the Germans. It's like the Germans helping the Americans during a Cold War gone hot. Like, yeah, you lost, so you're helping us now. But, yeah, kind of. But
More
yeah,
like the
you,
French and the Germans.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
Yeah, that's more accurate, I guess.
I guess that worked. But you are able to get past the defensive position, the wall, easily enough after disarming things and figuring out where there were traps. Yeah, you see the fact there are a lot of bodies just everywhere here, just kind of scattered about. But now in front of you is the walkway, which isn't that long, or like it's maybe wide enough for two people to, or like for two individual like Dragonborn to walk like past each other without like hitting each other. So it's a little wider than a normal corridor kind of thing, but it's at one point probably completely enclosed, but the glass has been broken in many of these areas, so there's wind and air coming through. At one point, this was probably like wind resistant and cooler than everything, like a nice way of moving between buildings out of the heat.
Do you want to roll your thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're doing you're doing your radar. Okay, I will tell you this: you detect dragon.
I mean, there's one standing right beside you.
No,
No,
you
that
do.
one doesn't count.
No, you
You
count
detect-
as a humanoid.
You count as
an
a
actual
humanoid.
dragon.
Yeah, I am going to. I don't know specifically how it's worded, but I'm going to say dragon includes dragonkin. So
Yeah.
you detect dragon.
In the same way that a dragon turtle counts as a dragon in D&D, I think.
Yeah. So you
Do
detect.
you want the good
you
news
detect
or the bad
dragon.
news?
Bad news.
Bad news.
Good news first. Forward now.
Good news first. Okay. Good news is I don't detect any elementals, undead.
I see where this is going, Rivallon. Do you detect
Yes.
dragons?
Yeah, within a mile.
Ooh.
Which means they're somewhere inside the citadel.
Well, not necessarily. Like it's a mile across from one end of the citadel to the other, but you're in the center, so
Okay,
you can check the
so-
half mile outside of the walls. I'm just
Even
saying,
so,
like it's
10
it's
10
technically
minutes out
not-
at least.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
close.
Yeah.
Very close.
Not even for flying creatures. Let's be honest. It's not even 10 minutes. Like a half mile. It's almost nothing.
Okay, I skyward. Although I've never
Is
seen
there,
one.
is this walkway open?
No, like I said, it has a roof, and
Yeah,
at
no.
one point it had glass like on both
Oh, yeah,
sides,
yeah,
but
okay,
the
so-
glass has been broken. But there's still a roof here.
It's like the
that-
bridge to Hogwarts between Hogwarts and Hagrid's house. It's like
Yeah.
covered.
That's a good. Yeah, that's a good way. I mean, this one is stone, but yeah, I don't know if the one in
Yeah,
No,
that was
it's
stone.
wooden.
Potter stone.
It was
It
stone.
was
Harry
stone.
Potter.
It was stone. It was stone with a wooden top.
Yeah.
Okay,
stone
this
was-
one's just stone, mate. This one's just stone. But yes, it is covered. But you can cross. I will say you still have about 10 minutes of your pass without a trace at this point, because of the
Okay,
time. Because you had to disarm traps and stuff along the way.
Let's
so.
go.
Okay,
Let's get
so
across to the other side before my.
quietly
pass
going
without trace
across.
runs
Everybody make a stealth check.
Remember to add 10 to your final number.
Well, I will automatically do that.
24.
24,
Oh.
23,
23.
27, 20. Okay.
That was a good set of
Ustenia?
rolls that time.
That was a good set of rolls.
Justinia?
Atari.
24,
Your stealth check.
23, 27,
Oh.
20.
Oh,
Oh!
I dropped the 20.
It's a 12, it's a
I
12.
got 1 and I dropped
Oh
the 20.
no! No!
It's okay, it gets to
So-
add 10.
Yeah, I guess they had 10, so it's still a 12, but still,
Yeah.
no,
that's-
but that just sucks because that was a 20. That's what it
Yeah.
sucks most.
Yeah,
I get that.
dropped to 20.
Sucks.
But you
massive
cross.
Team.
You cross. You can hear the rattling of Ustenia's armor as because you're moving stealthily, but you're also kind of rushing a bit. You're trying to get across before you can be spotted. It's more like less moving slowly and more just trying to get out of line of sight quicker. Is the way you're trying to do the stealth thing. So you hear like a little from the armor kind of rattling a little
Can
bit
I-
as you walk.
Do a perception check to see if I can hear wing beats or anything.
Sure, go ahead. I shall allow it.
No, she does not.
Nope. You don't hear wing beats. You don't hear wing
You
beats. You
hear
don't hear
Ustenia's
anything.
Just hear
armor
noisy
giggling.
armor.
No, actually, the big thing you notice, the reason why is because as soon as you like get into the walkway, it goes from being the very quiet, solemn interior stillness of the building to you're crossing through open windows and there's wind because it's getting towards night, so it's like as you pass through windows and you can't hear much. By the way, at this point, the sun is just setting. Like it is in the twilight hour of the day, I guess, as it's
So everyone
going.
dim
starts
light.
getting advantage on stealth checks.
Yeah.
It's dim light, yes. It is dim light, yes. If you, I'll let you if you wanted to take that advantage, but I mean you got a 27 with your past that trace.
Oh yeah,
so-
but I may as well see what else I can get. I mean, I might get a nat 20.
Well, to be
That's true.
fair, that's a
And then we can't
27.
see
It is only an 11 plus 6. There's so much higher you can get.
yeah,
31.
31. Okay, yeah.
Where did
Okay.
Rivallon go again? For
Yeah,
crying out
Rivallon's
loud,
very hard to
Rivallon.
see. But the walkway to the tower is bare of signs of fighting. No bodies lay on the ground, and much of the walkway structure seems to be intact. Barring the smoothness brought on by years of wind and sand that seem to blow past the open airs of the windows. But no door bars your way when you get to the tower. You seem to be maybe not on. You're not on the second floor. And that's you're maybe 3 stories up at this point from where you're going in. The inside of the tower is much different than the church. No battle seems to have taken place here.
Is there any
No
dust
death link.
disturbed?
I was just about ready to get that. No death lingers in the air. Dust covers the floors, and the sun shines in from unbroken windows here and there. In the center of the room you enter, you can see an entrance to a central spiral staircase that twists upward if you looked up. It seems the rooms are not floor rooms specifically. They seem to be going in a spiral pattern where you see the rooms just kind of going up and up from the exits of the stairwell. Along many of the walls, there are depictions of Bahamut, unbroken, undisturbed, depicting his life. From the beginning of the mortal plane, to the war among the gods in the Age of Fire, to the time when the gods left to the higher planes and left the world to their former soldiers and creations. What do you do?
I assume Sesh is having a moment.
Yeah. She's walking around, looking at all the murals, drawing it all in.
Right. Okay. Session's having a lot of moments at the moment.
Hey, what can you expect?
Understandable though. It is understandable.
Yes.
She has never been in a church of her own deity, and now she's seeing all of this. This is pretty like hardcore for her.
Can she do the hardcore bit after we've killed the druid?
Superpowered elf.
He might not be alive after that, so you know. Let her have her moments now while she's still alive to appreciate them.
But a moment is taken. You read through, look through. There's no writing actually. It's all it's all depictions and paintings and imagery. But after a moment, what do you all do? There's a stairwell going up. Do you take it, or are you? What are you doing?
So where's the dragon balcony compared to us? Are we on the
About
same
one
level?
floor. About one floor up is where you saw it. Because it was about 4 stories up. You're on about the 3rd story. So you're in a room that's technically on the 3rd story, but it looks like this is like the rooms are offset and spiraled. You're not exactly. There's no
Right,
like
okay.
floors. It's very kind of making room for the spiral staircase essentially. It's because it can't like exit all on the same floor, which you can see. But you do see one that would fit with that distance, maybe 2 exits like up the stairwell. There's no door on any of these exits, and you do see the twilight kind of shining in through here. So what do you do?
Master Rivallon, how long do you think we have?
Gee, let me
I'm
think.
gonna say it's gone at this point.
Yeah, I was thinking that as
Your
well.
Passage Trace. Yeah. Just from generally everything, like it was very close to ending at that point.
And you
I
can't
can cast
do
it again, but I'll run out of spell slots for the final battle if we don't care.
No, we should save your magic for the battle.
Well, let's get up to the level where we suspect the dragons are, and then see what's there. Because if there's a dormitory there that they've made, that we need to know that. We need to know if there's signs of them going higher. If not, we just want to start heading back downwards.
Why?
Well, because if they're using this tower as a base, they can either only be going up or down. So it's best for us to get to the level where we're going to expect them and then look from there.
Okay. I don't want to risk the party by going up there, falling over, and smashing something.
That's why you're only sending me.
Fair.
Okay. So is
I've got
Rivallon
advantage on
going up
stealth
the?
checks.
That's true. It is dim light in the stairwell. I would say it's twilight right now. It's not necessarily dim light. So if you're in unbroken, like if you're in a shadowed area, you're fine. But if you're like in the middle, if you're just outside right now, it would still
No,
not
I wouldn't
count.
be. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's shadowed enough in the stairwell that it would count as advantage for dim light. So if you go up.
Nat 20.
Natty 20!
By the way, I like how your natural 20 is still not as good as your
Pass without
No,
trace.
but
pass without trace. If you had pass without trace on, you could theoretically get a 36.
Yes, I could.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
For now.
Yeah, I've not leveled up. For a while.
Rivallon, you go up the stairs like it's like a twist and a half up before you get to the doorway. Peek your head out. You see, unlike the other doorway you passed up, which seemed like a more self-contained room. This one much more open. This leads out into there's a room, an interior room that surrounds the actual stairwell. That looks to be somewhat fortified, and you can see exits in various different ways out into the actual battlement area. But you see no people here. You do see signs that individuals had been here. You see places like not the actual mats, but you see disturbed dust in a square-like or rectangular pattern, a sleeping mat maybe, or some sort of blanket being placed on the ground. Opened crates with odd elvish writing on it that you cannot read, much like the one that was on the amulet that you found in the saddlebag previous dragon. You can smell maybe food or some sort of like a bready kind of smell coming from the box. You look out. Nothing is on the battle. You can see signs that they had been there for a while. There's a small crate, 2 smaller crates next to it, maybe like a table and chairs, essentially. You can see some old papers, kind of with drawings, essentially, on it, like sketches that somebody might have done as they were looking out over the canyon. But they got midway through and they didn't like it, so they tossed it out. That kind of stuff. Like the signs of soldiers having been here at one point, but no longer. Looks like all their equipment's gone or moved.
Alright, well, I collect the documents that have been screwed up and things.
Okay. Like I said, the documents you find are all look to be like sketch paper.
Yeah.
Like from a small notebook or something that somebody kind of wrote, like was drawing on with like charcoal.
Yeah, I'm collecting all that up because I'm going to give it to Mark to have a read.
There is, well, as I was saying, there is no writing on any of them. It is scrunched up,
It's
like
sketches.
landscape drawings or things like that they made of like, they like the way that ravine looked against the sunlight. That kind of. is what I'm
okay.
trying to say.
Passing the time sort of thing.
Yeah, the only writing you find is on a few crates that you smell like a bready smell from. Maybe ration crates. That's what you find. Everything else
But
seems
this-
to be just like things left behind that they couldn't take or they didn't want to take. They're just kind of here.
So, like bedrolls and things like that are gone. Any weapons that there might be, personal weapons, things like that, that's all gone.
That's all gone. Yeah, basically the things that are
Almost
left
they've
here,
played
like
out.
yeah, like empty crates are left here that they were using as chairs or tables. Things they didn't want or couldn't take, they kind of like left here.
Can I see the sky?
Yes, you look out. It is starting to get darker and darker. Maybe about 10 minutes before night settles. You look out to the sky. You see the reddish hue of the setting sun still up there. You see no creature. You see no rider or dragon in the air.
Yeah.
You see a couple of birds here and there, like, you know, like scavenger birds in the distance, that kind of stuff. You know, normal, what you've seen here before. Nothing out of the ordinary, though. You do, because you are looking up, you do see a faint glow from the second step of the tower. Like torchlight up there.
Okay. I make my way back to the party.
You make all of us jump.
Hi.
Ah, you're back.
Who's back?
We're used to it at this
What?
point.
So what? It's, the thing is, when Rivallon appears, I feel like the rest of us have suddenly become guards from like Skyrim or Oblivion or something. Just,
Oh, Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, must have been the wind. What
Or,
was
or
that?
like the Last Thief game, the really bad
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the really bad one.
But yeah, it's like.
Was that box
yes.
there before?
Okay. So I guess you exposition dump to what you've just seen.
Yes. Where we think that the riders have been staying has been cleared out. Stuff. It's all empty boxes and drawings of
That-
landscapes and things.
That could just be military training, though.
Could they?
Like living Spartan on the road. If these guys have come from Orland as we think they have, they're not going to be able to carry an amazing amount on their.
Yeah, but if they're
dragons.
intending to kind of stay in this location, they wouldn't take their bedrolls.
I mean, we take our bedrolls every
Yes,
time.
but we don't stay anywhere for long. If they are intending to come back, why take your bedroll?
True.
It's like taking your tent around at a festival. That makes no sense.
I mean, and why
Do I
take
look
all
like
the
that?
dragons? I mean, if you're going to raid or patrol, you don't need all the dragons to go anywhere. I'm not suggesting they have left. I'm just suggesting that that's what the information.
Point of fact, just so you remember, you did detect dragons. I just
Yes.
want to point. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You said all the dragons. I'm just.
You don't usually take 8 dragons out on a on a patrol.
Scout mission or a recon or a patrol.
Very true. Very true.
Or maybe they
Doesn't
do.
seem
We
very
just don't know
stealthy
how they
for a
work.
recon.
But there is light above us
Right.
on the next level of the tower.
Magical or torch?
Yes, because I had time to ask them if it was magical or torch.
Might glow differently. Okay,
Talking to the elf.
that's fair, Master.
There you go. Yeah.
So what do you all want to do?
I think we've just got to.
Keep on.
Go up.
I think this is it. I think we've got to be careful, but I think we've got to move up.
Alrighty then. You begin going up the stairwell. Up and up and up.
Mog is going to go slow because she knows she's rubbish.
Okay. I'm assuming it's a similar order. Rivallon, Isaac, Ustenia, Mog.
Keep
Sash.
going up on my
That
own.
Yeah,
sounds good.
Okay. You continue upward. It's not like a tight, like medieval spiral staircase. Like it's wide enough. This is a big tower. It's wide enough for multiple people to go abreast of each other.
Mikey!
Hey, Mikey. But you keep going up and up. You pass by entrances to rooms and old living chambers, it looks like, that have been abandoned for years. You can tell, though, this has been traveled, maybe not like it has been traveled, because there is dust that has been disturbed and footprints in the dust as you go up. You keep going up.
Are the
and about.
footprints boots?
Yes. I'll say they are boots with a heel on them.
So like the ones I heard, like the click click.
Yes. Like a this is like meta, but like a cavalry boot. Like a high cavalry boot kind of thing. Is like the footprint you're seeing on the dock. But after about 10 minutes of going up, and you're multiple stories up at this point, you can kind of feel it by looking down. Since there is a railway, but there is rails, but you can look down. You can see all the way down in the center of the spiral. It's pretty high up.
Oh.
You could fly. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Isaac can fly. Midge man has an irrational fear of spiral staircases.
He has an even more rational fear of spiral staircases that
But
have got Mr. Blobby on every floor.
I got stuck up the top of Podium Castle because of this once. Like,
the stairs.
It helps. Red isn't good with stairs and ladders either, so she can't.
okay, we could just hold each other and fear.
The stairs empty into a large chamber. Torches burn to both sides. It is long and rectangular, taking up the vast majority of this floor of the tower. It is the end of the spiral staircase.
Oh, thank God.
There is a raised wooden platform with 2 flights of stairs going up to it, to like another floor kind of high, on the opposite end of the rectangular room where you currently are. It seems to be much more decorative than other rooms, with carved stone, intricate stone flooring. On both sides sit pillars, tall, reaching to the ceiling, which is about maybe 3 stories high. On the ground level, each pillar has a cutout where a somewhat large, like 7-8 foot tall, dragonborn warrior statues stand. Each one of them in like a a pose, like not like an action pose or something like that. They're all like got the. Have you ever seen like statues of like knights from that era, or like they got like the cross, like the sword cross thing. They're just kind of holding onto it, like facing forward, and they're all wearing armor, and so they look to be a part of the flight that used to occupy this citadel. But you have exit, but that is where you were deposited. What would you like to do? You see an exit on the other side, past the wooden like raised platform.
So this is essentially like the top of the Assassin's Temple in Assassin's Creed 1.
I've never played that far into Assassin's Creed 1. In all honesty, I have the games, but I just haven't had the time to play them. And in also all honesty,
like
Assassin's Creed
like
1 is a very slow burn that you have to get into.
But no, yeah, but it's the starting castle, you know, with their main.
Must
Like,
say, yeah.
It's been so long, Mitch.
Yes.
It's been so long. You know, though, there is at least another stepped layer above this room, to the smallest of them.
I'm gonna get my bow ready.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna do a perception check and see if I can see any traps. Or is that investigation or?
I want to check perception, see if there's anything else in this room that might be a danger.
Okay.
I'm
Go
just
ahead.
gonna help Sesh.
You don't need to
So I'll
help me.
give
I
you
get
advantage.
advantage.
You don't
anyway,
need
so make
to.
your roll
She
roll.
gets
Oh,
advantage
yeah.
already.
Yeah,
So
make
just
your own
roll
roll.
yourself. Increase your chances.
A bloody shield is brilliant.
25.
Oh, never mind.
25.
All right.
Oh,
As you slowly move forward into the room, just exiting out of the staircase and looking around, you see no traps. You look; it looks to be fairly pristine, actually. There is no both sides also have windows on either side. It looks as if the square ness of the tower, of this floor of the tower, is taken up by this whole chamber for the most part. The windows are clear. The floors are a bar of dust. And you walk forward, and both Sesh and Mog, you both hear from the opposite side of the chamber, as if coming down a stairwell, past the thick wooden doors, you hear sets of footfalls, high-pitched and metallic against stone. A click, 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 click. And
Hide.
it stops. There is, by the way, that's the I'll put the chamber out here just so you can see what I'm talking about.
it's a battle map. It's a battle map.
It's a battle map.
Yeah, we're not
Welcome
gonna
to
get
the
a fight.
battle map.
We knew this was coming because
What's the
Liben.
map called?
I don't think
He's
it's
losing
a
there
wolf
you go.
fight.
It should be tower fight.
Yeah, it's loading.
He's
It is
loading.
They did preload this, but maybe it didn't work because we had that weirdness from Utari at the start. Maybe there's something going on right now. But
Some weird shit.
some weird shit, yes. But there is no real place to hide here. It is not dark. The light from the torches is keeping the interior of the room not like daylight bright, but it's not dim light. It's normal, like.
You're
light.
basically saying I can't use my stealth. Thank you very much.
Well, it's just that. The only places to hide are the pillars, but from the position of the stairwell and the doorway, you don't get full stealth coverage. You can give it a shot, but it would be a high DC. There's warning on that point. Also, the pillars and the central part of the chamber are on a somewhat raised part of this platform, like maybe 5 or 6 steps up from where you exited in. But a few seconds later, after the footfalls stop,
We should, considering none of us can like hide, should we like form a position? I guess.
for a position.
I got the map. Hold on.
Yeah, same.
I
I
have-
loaded in pretty quickly. It could be because I'm no longer using a shitty PC.
There we go.
There you go.
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah, it's like it is like the library in Assassin's Creed.
Oh yeah.
Maybe that's how you for whatever it is.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So yeah,
Shall
do
take
you want us to drop
Where
our
are
tokens
we?
in there and we can set ourselves up?
It's not.
Ah!
That's wrong.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
Ah!
This thing is huge!
I don't have the enlarged spell.
I remember what I forgot.
What?
The grid. I have to
Ah.
manually do that for all my maps, and I forgot to do that for this one. There we go. The grid is now placed, and I think that will now work.
Well, Stadia's
Yeah,
now
there we go.
huge.
Oh wow, I need to pick up the enlarged spell just so we get massive Ustinia.
Swole
Massive
Stenia.
Russian man. Swole.
Swole Stenia. That's a bit close. I was envisioning you guys down a little further south, where you
So,
entered. I just kind
there?
of dropped you where I was. You can be as far forward as you want. Just pick where you guys want to be. Because
There, I guess. Sesh knows she can't hide, so she's just standing out in the open.
okay.
Isaac
And,
is behind half cover.
okay. And Mog, where do you want to be? You haven't moved your token.
Red is just trying to argue with their map at the moment.
Middle mouse button to drag.
There you go.
Middle mouse button to drag. Left mouse button to select. And just hold it down. And where do you want to move? Other
There.
side.
Okay.
Other side.
Other side. There we go.
Get your hop.
They're coming from up here, aren't they? Like the top of this little wooden
Yes,
area with
the
the two
raised
lanterns.
platform.
Yeah.
Yes, the raised platform. A few seconds pass as you all scatter into your various positions, and you hear the creaking noise of two doors opening, and you see two individuals exit.
Do we recognize
They're-
either of the individuals?
You do not. They step out. You see two individuals, a male and female elves, both wearing uniforms that are familiar to Mog. One slightly more pristine and regal looking than the other. The doors were opened by the female and then closed by her behind the male as he walks in. The boots still clicking, though now against wood.
Click, 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 click.
And I'll just go ahead and do this as well because you can see this. It's not share. It's not a map, but it gives you an idea of what they look like.
Well dressed elf.
I think Isaac's to try and talk them round first.
Isaac's hidden.
I'm currently, well, I'm not hidden. I'm just
Oh hey, I know
tactical
this.
position.
Very dapper.
Oh God, no! Oh no! It's the Prussians!
Oh my God, no!
The von Habsburgs, no! This is Napoleonic Austria or Prussia. Oh, no! Oh dear.
I also saw this art
Definitely
weeks
looks
ago.
like Austria.
Yeah, I also
Yeah.
saw this art weeks ago, and I was like, oh, that looks really cute. I hope Roach got it done for something really cool. I hope it's personal. And now it's here, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
It's
no,
so
I had to
cool.
commission this. I want you all to
Yeah.
realize I had to buy a commission to get this
Yeah.
done.
He paid Vec to draw this, and Vec did a great job.
It's
But
a
it's,
really
it looks
cool-
great.
But you see you see two individuals in front of you wearing a black and white uniform of an odd cut, both wearing that round stovetop hat
Looks like
with
a-
a white
looks like Doug-
palm.
It was like Doug Dimmadome's hat.
Oh no.
The
I just really hope they don't start talking about things like the Unterelven.
Yeah.
but you
the
you see-
final human solution.
No.
oh,
Oh fuck.
That sounds like my campaign.
It's getting dark. It's getting real dark real quick.
Anyway.
the male who is wearing a it doesn't really the art piece doesn't necessarily show up, but like almost like a pencil mustache looks to all of you seeing, because you can't really hide, seeing all of you in front of him. There's a slight smile on his face as he looks down to the two standing without cover and calls down to you. Welcome. Been expecting. Smiling, very friendly looking in terms of his his demeanor. A slight accent and stiff pronunciation of common.
Like he's not used to it.
Yeah, or like if you ever hear like somebody who is a German or a Russian speaker that has learned English, and they're proficient and fluent, but they just have a very odd way of like they learned how to talk from like 3 different pronunciation sources and have kind of meshed it up. That's kind of like the way you hear it.
Okay.
I'm going to guess you are the Turquoise Company.
Hi.
That would be
Hello?
correct.
Quite a ways you've traveled. I'm expecting you're here for our resident witch.
Your
Luck
resident witch.
Sorry,
What is your purpose
two
here?
people. I'm afraid I can't tell you that.
Your resident witch.
Yes, Liven is. It's complicated.
Isaac's gonna step out and say, "Do you know who she works for?"
Us?
Ha.
Higher than that.
Keep going a bit higher, buddy.
Just
So
a
you
knowing
work-
smile.
You also work for Zagul.
I don't comment on rumor. And by the way, to his side, the female elf, dressed very much similar, though slightly less
Regal.
neatly
Ponce.
regal looking, is like stiff up, like attention, like to his side.
We have no quarrel with you.
I'm
We
afraid
just
you
want-
are wrong, my distant brother.
You're no brother of mine.
Well, that may be true. You see,
So-
I can't let you talk to her. Because I know what's going to happen. And she has more important things to do.
Smarter than the caterpillar on your face makes you look like.
Sharp words for one standing in the graves of so many of their brethren.
He can say the same, and I point at Isaac.
Oh, don't think I've forgotten about him.
Well, we're still here, aren't we?
Oh, yes, you are. How long remains to be seen. Though I'm afraid was far too charged for this meeting. I forgot myself. Commander Volred. And this is my aide-de-camp, Lieutenant Sadla. She just does a very curt nod, like you see like an acknowledgement that she's been given leave to make, and then again stiff.
Mog steps out and goes, "Charmed, I'm sure."
I'm unfortunately not willing to let you go. I think we
I'm
all
not
knew.
surprised. That's-
You think we're trapped here with you? No, other way around, bud.
Include Rorschach mask.
A very common line of thinking for you mainlanders.
Not nonetheless correct.
Oh.
It would be a shame though,
Turns
to see this
to-
building burn to the ground.
Yes, it would. Turns to his lieutenant. And hold on, what was that? Prepare what we discussed earlier. I'll be up shortly. She just goes. She does, like almost stiffer somehow. Click, heels click, nod, and then almost without moving the upper body, like none of the upper body moves, just a heel turn.
Wait, is she going to leave?
Yeah, heel turn away and starts walking.
Old person. No, I can't cast
I was
that
gonna
from
say
here.
it. Oh.
Too far away. I'm too far away, I think. Let me check range.
I think you're too far away. Remember, this is about a 20-foot or a 15-foot difference in height from the ground level.
Yeah, I
This is
think
fine.
I'm way too far away. Let me just check the spell anyway, because
Yeah,
I might
go
as
ahead.
well.
No. I think you're.
Hold
I think you are too far. I think hold person's probably a 60.
60 feet. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
well, okay. I'm not out of range because I can use a distance spell.
So
Okay.
can I.
Oh, I've got. How far away are they from me?
Linear distant. Hold on. I also gotta lock the. I was gonna lock the tokens, and I'll place him down. Counters. Get it here. He is.
I think we finally just met the BBEG, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry. What?
I think we just met the BBEG. You put money into getting a full body commission of him, Roach. He's not gonna just appear once and vanish.
Well, it might be for the uniforms. This might be not be him.
That's true. Yeah, maybe.
Right there. Approximate. Right there is where he is, and she's next to him.
They're
I don't have
40.
I don't have a
Okay,
picture of her.
I don't even need to distance spell. I'm gonna cast banishment on her.
On her?
Yeah.
Okay. What is that check?
It is.
Wisdom or charisma?
It'll be a charisma probably.
I think it's
Charisma
charisma.
saving throw.
Charisma saving throw. Okay. Well, I do have a baseline stat block for this group of individuals. What's your DC?
That is what I'm checking. I think it's 15.
15? Okay.
Because despite what's it based off? It's based off
8
your...
plus your
casting modifier plus your
casting modifier and
proficiency.
your proficiency. Yeah.
Yeah, so 15.
15. Okay. They have a +3 to this.
Okay.
That's a natural one.
Oh!
Poof. She's
And
gone.
as I do it, I shout, "Get him!"
All right. Hold on. So you see, so she mid-step just goes, like forward out of the area.
Yep.
He, given the fact that he is actually very good at this, goes ahead and you see him tap one of his heels, and you hear a clicking noise. And Isaac, in front of you, because you're the closest one to one of these, you see. Hold on a second. You see the statue that are in
Oh,
the cutouts
no.
here begin to move, cracking, bits of stone falling down from their joints, and what you can see now to be large 4-foot long, or like long steel long swords that look to be stone before are now steel as they are animated. And it looks to you, this dragonborn warrior that is about 7.5 feet tall, almost with like almost true size, but just like 10% upscale. And there are now, I think there are 8 of them. All of them start moving, and because I think we're at the end of today's session,
Yep.
we are at the end of today's session. We begin with we'll begin the combat tomorrow with I'll just place them all here so you can know where
Tomorrow?
they're at. Not tomorrow, not tomorrow.
week.
For all those listening to the podcast tomorrow,
For all those listening to the podcast, then at
6
the
weeks from now. Also, Roach, did you roll twice for my initiative or just once? Because I have advantage.
I think I checked it. I think it automatically rolls twice.
Right.
Yeah.
So
He seems
Oh.
like
Oh,
yeah.
I was like, oh, she's not getting out of here, banish.
Wow, Isaac got a 2 and Mog got a 1.
Oh,
I don't roll well on initiative, okay?
There you go. There you go. There's all of the creatures now activated.
I just want to point out that for once I'm not at the bottom of the list, so I'm happy.
Oh,
Right,
I haven't rolled the actual initiative yet. This was
Oh.
your previous initiatives, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no,
'cause-
that sounds like about
I
right.
was getting excited there. Like,
I
Yeah,
think
hold on.
I'm not sure about. The
I will-
50.
Yeah.
at 20 again.
I will get us in the beginning, and I will say, and I will have initiative, roll all initiative, and we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
We'll do that. We'll do that as the last thing for
Hey!
today.
I go
Session-
first.
Actually, no, he goes first. He has a
Oh,
Yeah,
much
he,
higher.
He has a
He's-
dex
He's
modifier.
a higher dex
I'm
than
gonna
you,
be
of course.
dead by the
He
end of
has
my
an actual
turn.
dex modifier.
Yes,
Why?
he has
What
an
is
act-
it, 7
is-
HP. It's fine.
No.
So,
But yeah, you see
Um,
all those go. So that's
You
what we
need
got
to
going
clear
on
my
for next week.
you need
Yeah,
to
he's
clear
got
my
break
break.
on him.
Oh right, yeah. Go ahead. I'll go ahead and do that right now.
but anyway,
There you
yes.
go.
Thank you everybody so much for watching this week's Sleeping Giants Reborn. We'll be back next week, same time, 7:30 GMT, and all the other times in those time zones. But yes, as always, thank you for Commissar Roach for writing this campaign and DMing for us, and thank you to all the people that join me. I've been joined by Shirley Mikey, Red Moogle, Rival Zone Gaming, who you could also see Red Moogle on the streams of, because
Yeah, little hand.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's. And literally go watch the Kerbal Space Program streams,
it's
because
amazing.
they're hilarious. I've said this last week, but I don't watch Kerbal Space Program. I don't understand the game, but listening to them two bicker is amazing. And we're also joined by Utari Onzo, who you can't see on my stream, but he's also streaming this at the same time. Go follow him. And then of course I'm Midgeman. We will see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Can I just say,
Goodbye.
Rivallon has been amazing today.
Yeah, oh my god.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
big up to Rivallon.
MVP.
Carrying
guys
us
would've
through
been
the Spec Ups
So
mission.
fucked.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See you, bye.